Hello and welcome everyone straight into the game of Le Passion Stack versus Villa. We're not going to be going to face cams for this one. We're going straight into the game. We are excited as hell for this one, and I'm joined by Mr. Medic. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking. Very excited to see what this match can hold. Definitely keen to see the predictions and whatnot from the game. But so far, so good.
Yeah, so just painting the picture for this game. Nexa, one of our 4 invited teams into the seeding tournament. And Le Passion Stack, although they are the favorites to win this, they had to fight their way through the round of 16, the first round of 8, the second round of 8, all the way until here and now. They have beaten every opponent at every stop in a decisive manner. I mean, if you watched yesterday's game, I'm sure you should have seen on Twitter the incredible 1v5 clutch from RX. This team is on fire. Whereas Nixuh, even though they were one of the invited teams, they kind of struggled on Friday against XL, and yesterday beat out Ascend to make it into the finals. So Nixuh, a strong team, but a bit shaky coming into this one, whereas Le Passion Stack are fired and ready. Thatcher and Flores, the first attacking bands, being joined out by a Valkyrie, kind of bog standard, but Villa, always an interesting map.
No, definitely. With Le Passion Stack, they've been having a good streak on, and let's see if they can keep that streak coming into this final game.
I mean, you know, Le Passion Stack, their big hope, their setup for this tournament was just play this like it is ranked. They haven't been scrimming. They literally talk 2 different languages in the team's communications. Mario and Corza talk to each other in English, and the rest of the team communicate in French. It is a mess, but it is working, and they are killing people. Whereas Nexa, a team that you expect to be a bit more coordinated. A lot of the Vibe and esports players, you've got Dropshot, Sandals, and Figure, being joined by some of the older heads in the Siege scene. Fish, a player that back in the day on .6 fragged out of his mind, especially on Villa. But, I mean, a lot of the teams in this game have done well on Villa. It traditionally is one of the best maps for South African Siege, in my opinion at least. But let's see how this one starts out. AVG will be the first bomb site, and just this bog standard defensive lineup we've seen from Le Passion Stack throughout this entire tournament. It seems like they have one setup for everything. Not even one for every bomb site, just one setup for everything.
Yeah, the setups are pretty. It's there for, you know, to cover a lot of ground. Setups are there. It's not, I wouldn't say basic, but it does the job. Yeah.
And you know, these Kona stations have been one of the most influential things we've seen this entire tournament. Obviously, one of the newer operators, this being the first time we really see her in the South African R6 meta, because I mean, the previous big tournament was, what, Incredible Connection Medal State tournament. That was about 4-ish months ago, where we didn't even see the Kona stations being brought. I remember yesterday, during Le Passion, or rather on Friday, Le Passion Stack's game versus Meraki, there was one player who went for a spawn peek, got 2 kills, survived on 1 HP, and he was back on full HP literally 5 seconds later. It's an operator that grants you so much versatility to just go for those aggressive plays, and if you escape with your life, well, you escape with almost 100 HP because of it. So, the attack coming in now. Let's see how they decide to take this one.
Yeah, with the Kona stations, they provide more support than Doc currently can. It's definitely something you don't underestimate, but obviously with the Kona station, attackers can definitely make use of that health as well.
Making quick work now of entering the building. Drop shot already on the prowl. Nivek on the ready. Has to fall back, and surely those Kona stations going to help. Sandals won't be able to pick himself up. Blinking health bars across the board, but no longer for Le Passion Stack as the operator we highlighted comes in clutch now. Fish on the Nomad, usually a second entry, but being used as a first entry, trying to hunt down the player that snaked his way down below. I believe it is Cause, indeed it is on the mute. He's played out some jam as his position is going to be hard to figure out, but he isn't posing as much of a threat just yet.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of the time Cause a player to just wait, but if he connects.
Definitely a lot of roaming, and attacking was pretty good.
Good answer back there from Nexa to find the first onto Corza, but again, traded. figure to fall. Sandals on blinking health bars. Still, Dropshot and Kaika trying to do what they can to open up this door into Vault. But they're just so stuck in their positions. The Bash and Stack know they can just wait.
It's a real close call here, watching how the angles are closing in for each other.
Smoke bunker down behind the shield.
Oh!
From over their head, he finds it. Kaiko with a big opener, blows the site wide open. They've got control of Classical Hallway now. They can start putting even more pressure onto the bomb site. Sandals from this study balcony area, just putting up so much pressure. Mario trying to answer back onto that, making his presence known, but Nixuh knows he needs to do something. 30 seconds left. Suddenly, the ball is in Nix's court as they find kill after kill. It's just King SO to try and claw this back on the flank, seemingly completely unaware of his position. That's the diffuser. That's the carrier denied. Can he find an incredible kill like his brethren RX did yesterday? It would be an incredible opener to this game, and indeed, they have retrieved the diffuser. 10 seconds on the clock. They need to go for this plant. There's one to cover. It's Dropshot. Can he make this happen? The plant, 2 seconds left, surely will be confirmed. Indeed, it does. King SO. The onus is on your hands now to make this happen. Finds the first, connects onto it. It's just Dropshot now. Not someone you want to find yourself in a 1v1 engagement with. Spots the head, can't find the kill just yet. Knows he's behind the bar, gonna try and fake out the defuse. Pros don't fake, that's what they say. But hey, in this situation, he's gonna try and bait it. Oh,
it's a close 1v1. Can he find it?
Hook, line, and sinker. Does damage, can't find the connection just yet. Has to whip out the pistol, and indeed it's Dropshot. Nexa to find the first round.
They've definitely set the tone. They're showing that they're real, and they mean it.
That was just clinical. I mean, Nixuh for the first half of that round seeming a bit shaken by Cause's presence down below. They lost 2 players early, but that final execution, just perfect. Finding 2 kills after that, sights wide open. That's what you do. That's how you take it.
Definitely. I do believe that the defense, they did do a lot more roaming than anticipated and did lose chunks of the site to the enemy.
You know, I feel like the smoke there in Classical Hallway is one of the biggest losses to them. I mean, that's the position you want to hold onto. It denies 90, it denies access to Vault through the hard breach. But, I mean, literally as soon as that player died, it was completely wide open for the taking.
Yeah, it was pretty much guaranteed for the opposition to come in and get that steal, get the win. But it was definitely a close call for blue team. The Passion just holding back as much as they can.
So then, opting again to go to AVG. Seemingly the exact same setup. This time maybe just going to play a bit safer.
Yeah, we can see if they play a bit safer, and we can see if they can throw in a bit of a curveball for the Nexa. See what happens from there on. But more or less looks like the same setup as previous round.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
Yeah, they're all just situated around site here. Causa again, the one on the extended road. Gonna prep open this window, go for an early spawn peek. Find anything, not just yet. 2 down below. But the extra juice is not worth the squeeze, Causa says, as he opts to fall back. Nixuh, though, doesn't fall back. He goes for it, and Sandals wins the trade.
It's definitely not a thing to be losing to a spawn peek. And just spawn peeking is a risky but beneficial move. It's a risky tactic, but obviously now they have to play much harder to defend themselves.
They are aware, though, of Causa's position. The exact same place he played last round. This time, again, just moving from pillar to post, holding down this area of the map. A C4 in back pocket. Could rip it from down below. There's no pressure coming horizontally. All of it vertical from up above. Preps the C4. Not too sure where that one actually landed. I believe prep for a bathroom rotate. Indeed it is.
Oh, could you expect double kill here?
Oh, the perfect connection. The default camera feeding the info, and Causa finds 2, finds a 3rd at that with the gun. That is the damage.
Beautiful
that is what
play.
we like to see from him.
It was well executed, I must say.
Now then, will he be allowed to stay in this position even longer? He's already done his deal, but he's sticking to it. He doesn't just fall back to the side. No, he knows he can find more.
Oh, well played from Nixuh.
Sandals slinking on through the open area, trying to find cause of fish. Joining him in the clear. They're on the prowl.
They're really aiming to look for Koza.
What can he do in this situation? He has already denied 3 men and about a minute and 30 seconds in this round. All down to him. Now stuck in Memorial. Does that even matter? Flashed out, dashing, dipping, ducking, and diving! He gets the ace while fully flashed! Koza, are you madman?
That is definitely a spray and pray right there. And he got his prayers. Can you believe it?
I expected nothing less from a grand final between these two teams.
That was very insane, I must say. Koza going for the majority of the kills there.
Well then, you know, I don't really like to say one round's win came down to a single player, but I'm sorry, that was all Koza's game.
He definitely denied them above and denied them below.
So then, how do you retaliate from that? I mean, it was a good first round from Nexa. I commented on it, but that breaks your morale. We saw yesterday, after RX's clutch down below in Church and Arsenal on Clubhouse, that Regicide was just completely broken after. Will this be the exact same case? Will this be Nexa's mentality taking a bit of a dive? Got the Pog mats, definitely an infuriating operator as well, so maybe just trying to go for those BMs and break down Nix's mindset.
It's definitely a tormenting strategy with the frost mats, because now they're not aware as much of the frost, but now they're going to have to be very careful. I can expect at least 1 catch from frost.
Most definitely, and interestingly, they're playing the traditional ranked setup. One opening on the left side of the wall here and another into closet. Allows an angle into the closet window from the main site. No one can really take that position. Makes it a lot more dangerous to play, as well as an extension into AVG. Then, Nexa, how do you decide to attack this? Looks like the main lineup is going to come from the study balcony side. Nixuh already taking that damage. He's been the opening death in both of these rounds.
Yeah, he's not doing so well with taking first damage lately. He's just been risking it, going for that hungry kills.
There's some good teamwork being shown by Nexa. Drone establishing that Koza is indeed playing behind the bar area. Nixuh as well, prone behind the maps table. Sophia looking to maybe put through a concussion charge and find this player in a precarious situation. Spots one, doesn't know that the Jaeger is close by as well. Sprays on through, 150 ammo in the capacity. Finds the injure. Is there a second one to answer back?
Yeah, we can see Mario's down now. We can see if Jaeger can more or less get that Sophia to assist Mario.
Koza though, they're completely unaware of his position. They've droned him earlier, but it seems they have the memory of a goldfish. Finds one on the trade. Yes, but they're just losing man after man. The Passion Stack's presence here in AVG is felt, and it is having an impact.
We can see a lot of people falling down to kills. It's starting to look like a team deathmatch, more or less. We can definitely have a look at a close encounter here from Frost.
Oh, the drop shot, something you don't see nearly enough, but Fish wins that one.
Close, we can see that. Mario is now up and going about it with a 3v3. 1 minute left.
Really just sticking to their angles, sticking to the basics, knowing they can lay in wait. They don't have to push the objective. They're playing reactionary.
Close to the 30-second mark, so they're gonna have to think of something moving forward.
Yeah, here...
Yeah, we can see Mario moving forward.
Oh, Kaika with a double on the insertion. Now just Mario to left to try and claw this back. Finds one. Gonna need a good 3k if he wants to bring this back, but Nexa have control of the site. They do need to get the plant down though at some point. The impact's coming out, trying to deny the plant, can't do it just yet, doesn't know there's a player on the left. Kaika to find 4 in the round.
Definitely going to be a tough game, this one. Throwing back and forth with rounds. Oh. Do you think it's going to be a back and forth game, more or less?
Most definitely. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like the star player potential from Lepassion Stack is absolutely incredible, but Nix's teamwork has been A1. I feel like the duality between those two factors is really going to be what determines the outcome of this game. Is it going to be more of Lepassion Stack finding these early picks because of their star players and building off of it, or is it going to be Nixuh working well together as a team and able to shut them down at every corner?
Now we're going to see more or less what's going to happen now. Are they going to adapt again? You can see they have the frost again, so we're going to see what happens. It's a unique Melusi place right there. They can shoot it more or less.
You know, with the new Melusi nerf where it actually expands once you are in the radius, placing it in positions where it cannot be knifed is less important nowadays because, well, you can literally just shoot it. So might as well use it as somewhat of an audio proximity rather than, say, an AoE denial. But again, same setup coming out from the Passion Stack. It looks like they are very much set in their ways. No real variation here.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
No spawn peaks this time, I see.
Taking their due diligence to make it slowly into the map, though. Causa is primed and ready for an answer back, MP5 in hand. He is scary in these positions. A lot of the time we see him not necessarily be a threat in terms of his killing ability, but just his presence. As a player on the entry, he knows of the position, and the Iana isn't ready. He finds one, and surely Mario is on the side to find a trade as well.
Ooh, tough situation there for Mario.
You have to retaliate in some way. You can't just leave this kill unanswered. But look, Cause has already fallen back to the main site, and Mario as well. Sitting pretty inside of Trophy. They've completely pivoted onto the main bomb site. Whereas Fish is still worried about placing out Argus scams in flank positions. They might come in handy later, but for the time being, they've fallen off back to the main bomb site. Sandal's putting some pressure onto this closet area, though he knows there's the soft wall on the left side, and that Causa is up on the hunt.
Very interesting plays there. Oh, we have, we believe that someone has disconnected as well. Unfortunate.
Should be able to get him back in before the second round, or the next round starts, but even before that, Nixuh on the double, trying to finish this round before the drop shot can return. Spraying through the wall, can't find the connection, can't find the confirmation, but
definitely 4v2, but a lot can happen with that.
Most definitely. I mean, Sandals and Fish, two very renowned players for their capability in these clutch situations. That's the head. You've spotted the head, my friend. Completely unaware, and he gets killed because of it. Now it's just Sandals at the top of landing. Surely nothing you can do in this situation. And again, Mario to just force the gunfight. A player that didn't really do too much for his team during the last two play days. But here, right now, he's finding important kills.
See if we can get that next player connected now. As he's come back on.
Villa, a lot of the times, a map you look to as a defensive-sided map. Yesterday, during my broadcast with Coach Simp, we chatted about the peculiarities where sometimes a map could flip just completely to the other side and be attacking-sided, but a Villa, most of the time, a completely defensive-sided map here. And Lepassion Stack, in my mind, Medic, what do you think is the round count they should be striving for on their defense here?
They should definitely be getting a lot more rounds, but obviously losing the defensive rounds to attacks is not really more or less their goal. But we can see how strong their attacks are moving forward. But other than that, they seem to be doing well, I would say. But obviously they don't aim to lose these rounds at a neck-and-neck standstill.
Bomb located by attackers.
It's always a question of what are you satisfied by? Are you going to strive for more?
10
I'd
seconds
hope
left.
you always do. That's a good mindset to have, but as well, just being content with maybe 3 rounds on your defense, I feel, in my opinion, just then heading into the attack confident is sometimes more important.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the negative when defending, because defending is more or less the goal of holding down your enemies, because a lot can go wrong with attacking. So defense is where it's at.
Again now, main attack coming from master bedroom balcony, and this time they actually have a cam on Nixuh down below, C4 in back pocket. Being droned out, realizes he can't play in this position for too long, has to back off. There's a player on Astro stairs, I believe that's Causa, indeed it is. Posing a threat, but falling back. No threat. Sandals, using the Feet Sniffer 9000, as Mr. Coach Simp dubbed it just yesterday on broadcast. I have taken to calling it that from now on. Nixuh on the rotate, completely ignores the Jackal's presence down below and does not connect with the C4, importantly. Causa still with the threat. Oh, but he shoots drop shot through the wall. No intel. This man... Call him Causa Damus because this man's predictions have been on another level.
You definitely see what's happening there by Nixuh getting hit. Oh, strong push. Can they hold that strong push?
A lot of the times, this is how the Passion Stack falters, starts to fail, is when they lose 1, maybe 2 players in these early gunfights. They can't seem to hold on to the bomb site then for too long, but is this where they turn things around? They've still got a smoke on site with 3 canisters in the back pocket. Now, though, the vault area has been opened up, so another angle that they need to worry about.
Definitely running around a lot with these guys. But Nexa has the time, they have the push. See what happens. Not looking good. Full of passion.
Smoke canister.
Ooh.
Poking and prodding, denying the area for the time being, though only 1 still in back pocket with 30 seconds that they need to delay still more. Using the breach to his own advantage, goes for the rotate, but there's no one in the hallway just yet. Mario needs to worry about the main plant. Finds the kill on the long angle. RX with a double, but it's just Mario with the MP5K left to make a clutch happen. He's done it before. Can he do it again? Finds one. Sprays on through the second in the maps area, but the plant surely will get stuck. In the retake position now. Knows there's someone by default. Plant does damage onto the Zofia. And indeed finds Sandals. Figure trying to maybe go for the vertical. But the fake
Definitely
is coming.
it's the time of running.
Figure takes out Mario.
Hey, Vanquish.
How was it? I just came from the side. I'm sorry about that. I just came to watch. I'm yet to assist if anyone needs assisting, but I'll stay muted for the time being.
Honestly, we could try a trio cast if you guys are down.
So,
Whatever works.
let me get my commentator voice on. There we go.
That was definitely a risky move there from...
Look,
defuse there.
what I really liked is how Figure was using his angles to the advantage, and then he was always like trying to stick the fuse, which was pretty cool.
You know, I feel the Passion Stack, they have this clutch ability, but you just can't rely on it round after round. I mean, Mario having to clutch this one. in the previous round. Can't remember the player's name. Left in 1v2.
Attackers need
And
to locate
yes,
and defuse
Causa
bombs.
coming in clutch, but I feel like these star player mentality rounds, you can't really stack them up.
We must see if Lepassion is good with their attacks as much as Nexa is doing. Because then, obviously, then we could see more of a comeback. Because right now they're just running out of defenses.
You know, from what I saw yesterday and on Friday from Lepassion Stack, they have this kind of two main contingents on their attack. They have Quasar and Mario working off of each other, the two native English speakers. And then the rest of the team, Nixuh, King SO, and RX playing off of each other on a separate side of the map, communicating in French. And I was actually talking to them yesterday in Discord. They literally have two main conversations going in their Discord through these games. They have
English
a full
French.
conversation in French and a full conversation in English. And honestly, I feel a lot of the times maybe that helps them because they don't get confused between callouts.
Honestly, I think that's helping them propel because obviously you've got two different players playing off each other, but then obviously, as you said, no confusion between the callouts and open communication. It's quite an interesting way to communicate though. Two different languages in one stack. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a team where more or less the English players adapt to a French call-out system that they're familiar with the call-outs in French, so it's easy with the communication. If the players are willing to learn French, of course.
Oh, it's just getting spawn peak. Was it going for the early peak?
You know what they say, learn to speak the language before you learn to play the game, but Fish almost can't even talk after that when he's shook on a blinking health bar.
Does Causa know about Sandal's position? He's sitting in the corner trying to get off the Alf Peakle. Let's see.
Sandal's taking this slow. He knows he doesn't have to pressure anything just yet. There's still a minute 30 on the clock. They can wait for Lepassion Stack to be caught off guard in positions where they do not want to be. Kaiko, though, is going to be one player that needs to force the objective. Walking up Astro stairs, there's one to meet him at that. Does he know, though? The bandit's unaware. Indeed, he does. Whoops
nice
the 180 and
swing from
finds the
Nixuh.
kill.
Definitely got diffuser on their side.
Sandal's pushing up. I don't know if they know about him, but I think they do. Does he know angle? Takes out Nixuh. Sandals. Amazing, phenomenal shot there.
You could have played a different angle for that, obviously, to hold diffuser more or less as the main attention before approaching, obviously.
Now, in the 3v3, this is where you retaliate. You see, what do we have at our disposal to make this execute happen? Well, we've got Fish, still one Argus cam in hand, and Figure on the Twitch drone trying to shoot out these electric abilities for the time being. Sandals will be the entry. Can you find anything just yet? One behind bar, one at the top of the main stairs.
Does he know that the Wamai is sitting there?
Oh, I think he has an idea, more or less, to play it safe.
He's got three scans in hand. And gets taken out by Mario holding a cross angle through the feet holes. Interesting.
10 seconds, there must be a push. They're planting diffuser. Oh, denied!
And Lepassion take the thwarts with denial from Causa.
Perfect C4 to connect, finds the second behind the maps table, and that's a perfect round for Nexa to end their half. 3-3.
Now we can just see if Lepassion can stack their attacks as well as Nexa has. Then we can see more or less what's happening here with results.
Now then, Nexa on their defense now. Going to AVG. The site we saw Lepassion Stack struggle with at times, but Lepassion now on the attack. How do they change things up? A lot of the time, the attack, you can dictate the pace of the game. The defensive team, sure, they're the one to set up the bomb site, but the attacking team is the one to force the objective, to set the pace of play. How is that going to affect Lepassion Stack as this team coming in hungry, coming in with the fragging mentality? Is this where they say, okay, let's just throw down the gauntlet and take every chance we can?
Absolutely.
Not sure how Lepassion's attack aggression is but I'm very eager to see how they'll come about to this. Will it be very similar to Nexa's attack aggression, or will it be somewhat unique in a twist?
10 seconds left before
No, it's been quite a while since some of these players on Nexa have shown their face to the South African R6 community. I'm looking to Fish in that aspect. Back in the day on .6 used to be one of the most capable fraggers in the region on Villa back in the day, getting, I believe, a 21 kill game that I casted. Now relegated to a hard support role. Not that that makes him any worse, but it's a position I wouldn't really have expected coming out from him. But although he's 2-6, I feel he's had an impact on this game that cannot really be quantified. It's a lot of the time something that happens with these hard support players. I'm pulling up the R6 analyst here. Fish having a 0.58 rating according to CGG. Yes, it's lower than usual, but these support players, you can't really quantify their contribution as RX fans, you know, kind of.
Drop shot getting taken out from the skyline angle. Right, as you said, from what I've noticed about LPS's attack is that it's also quite orientated in the fact that it's more frag heavy, but also the support players also knowing their roles, knowing when to do this and that, which also makes LPS quite a force to be reckoned with.
Most definitely. Cause a lot of the time has been the wild card for LPS.
As you know.
Sneaking on up the stairs. He knows. He spots the player, finds the
Gets
kill, can't
eliminated.
find the second.
Malusi gets traded out. Get the thing out.
Definitely showing where his teammate died there.
Now then, again, the second phase of the game. Spots the smoke. Doesn't do any damage just yet. It's the second phase of the game where you have to see what do you have to make this collapse happen. They've got some X-Kairos pallets, all of them in fact, as well as these air jabs to lock down positions. They can put these down on the main doorways, onto classical hallway and onto AVG, deny any rotate potential coming out from the side of Nexa on their defense as well, though you have the Zofia concussions and impacts. Those can tell you whether there is a player playing in any given position. As the smoke fades, the Passion Stack still just sitting and waiting. A trade coming through, a double for Figure. Now again in the 2v2, equalized out just that tiny bit. They're opting to actually push Figure down below. Maybe go for the vertical denial on the plant, but Mario now left in a dire situation, having to face off against a smoke and a 1v1 up top, as well as a player down below on a late denial.
15 seconds
If he wants to push in, this
He's
wop-up is
not
give
gonna
him
have the
this
time
position.
in his favor.
seconds left.
Not looking good for him. He needs to
Go for
run.
his frags. He's still got all of his
5
util.
seconds remaining.
He's got two. And unlucky. Fish takes him out.
Definitely set the tone now of how the Passion's attack is. We can see if Nexa can hold this defensive line and win the game.
It'll already be a tremendous win for Nexa heading into this game. Obviously, it is a best of 3, first map being Villa, as you should have seen at the bottom of your screen during the starting soon phase. Next map after this will be Clubhouse, and the third, if it goes all the way, Cafe Dostoyevsky. A lot of these maps, ones that have been in the Rainbow Six map pool for quite a while. These teams should be accustomed
Attackers need
to
to
all of
locate
these
and
maps. So
defuse the bomb.
really, I feel still could flip either way. I mean, this game right here, it's only a 1-round lead for Nexa. They've been trading blow for blow at every chance they get.
It really is a game of tag here, honestly. Tagging opponents here and there, and slow pushes, but seem to obviously work every now and then in chunks.
Attackers have discovered
From what I've noticed is that what kind of surprises me about like these higher grade players or Plat, Diamond, and Champ, they're from completely different org backgrounds. I mean, Mario was in DNMK, Corza also had his fair share.
Newick was in Sim 5 and Vibin, and on the Nixuh side,
Defuse a bomb.
some of them in DNMK as well. Now,
Yeah.
how they all accustomed to each other is a mystery to me, but somehow they still can kind of mesh together to get the work done.
It is definitely a more or less of a dream team, but I can definitely with Koza. If I'm not mistaken, he has some contracts signed in North America, so he is working overseas more or less.
I believe he's just going over to study,
Oh.
not yet signed to an org, but let's see whether Nexa can send him all the way over the seas in his dreams as they shut down his initial attack, trying to come with the Twitch drone. The parkour not there from him. We saw
Parkour's
Nexa on
not
their
there.
attack, shooting
Not
out the mirror
trying.
windows from that angle, but he's gonna drive it in. Less fancy, but gets the job done.
Did you see the triple Kona stations that Fish just grabbed a hold of?
Indeed I did. Triple Kona stations, something completely underrated, in my opinion. Allows you to
Yeah.
just get up to full HP in one position.
Yeah, no, it's a 0 to hero moment that I think Bandit needs one of those right now.
Kaiko holding the tightest cross angle I think I've seen in a while. And then he gets swung out. King So gets taken out by Kaiko. Doesn't know that he was there initially, but now he's gotten taken out. Newick watching the cross angle. Malusi figure swings, gets out Newick. Newick and figure trade.
Left reeling. Passion Stack, they don't look like they know what to do at this point.
They're trying to adapt to any possible opening.
Trying to find a little bit of a straggler. Trying to find a position that can give them a lead. Even just a tiny one at that. The smoke canister coming on through. The Jaeger jumping through the
Jaeger
window
going for
finds
the
a
jump out.
ninja.
Sandals not getting taken out.
See, it's more or less a minute left. They need to get inside the building now. That's the issue we're facing here now.
And also, LPS's current struggle is not having the fuser in hand. Will they clutch it up or will they go for frags? That's up to Mario and Koza to decide. Swings up, gets Kaiko. Kaiko holding the statue. Doesn't know that he was there initially. Gets out. Drop shot's gone. All they need to do is try and get the diffuser.
Oh, they
he
got
takes
it!
out Fish! What a amazing clutch. Almost about to swear there. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, but I'm gonna try and keep it as family friendly as possible.
You know, this
No,
sounds
that's-
like the intro to a joke. What happens when Koza and Mario walk into a bar? Well, no one else walks out alive. They just kill everyone on sight. And they take the round in a really important comeback for the Passion Stack because it felt like it was kind of slipping away from them. Not necessarily, it is still for a piece. This round is tied as much as it can, but it felt like the Passion Stack at times weren't in control of that game, whereas right there, that was perfect.
Yeah, I see Koza had a bit of a John Wick moment there in the bar, which was great to see.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
It really is round for round playoffs here, more or less. Can't expect to get the score what the predictions are. I don't know what your guys' predictions are, but this is definitely a close game that I can't myself predict.
You know, one of the Twitter community polls I saw while browsing Twitter a few minutes ago, it was an exact 50-50, the Passion Stack and Nixuh. Seemingly the community, they don't know who's going to win this one. We don't either, because this is a brawl, unlike anything we've seen in a while.
Attackers are moving out. to
This
locate
is
a bomb.
two heads clashing it out. This is definitely something you really worth watching.
Now then again, the Passion Stack, a lot of the time, they're hesitant to enter the map, and rightfully so, I would say, in a lot of these situations, where they see what damage they can do from safe positions before they take the risks, before they force the issue and start to push into the map. They're just waiting, debating, seeing what they can do before they go. And go they do.
Slow playoffs here for the attacks. They're pinching here and there to the defenders. The defenders are waiting for their prey.
Kaiko taking some damage. No Kona stations, but there is a Doc Stim pistol to take him back to full HP. The Twitch drone coming through now. Surely the wall will be open.
Nixuh getting the wall open. Do they know that there's two of them swinging? Gets swung. Kaiko gets taken out by Nixuh.
Jaeger looking to follow
Jaeger's gonna
suit.
swing. He's gonna swing. Sandals gets taken out by Nixuh. Nixuh's going off.
The Jaeger looking to follow suit, but the only place he follows is to the grave as he joins Kaiko 6 feet under.
Definitely the attacking I want to see for LPS. Definitely pushing it in there, giving it their all. And it's definitely a 5-4 victory. Definitely a trade off there with numbers.
It's taken out. Fragged out. And it goes to
that's it.
LPS. It seems that almost like the pinch was almost so tight that they were unaware of the rush that the other players were trying to conduct. Pretty well done by LPS.
I feel like when LPS find that opening pick, find the lead they want in a round, it is all theirs. They just find pick after pick, they snowball it into a round win perfectly. Yesterday, we saw so many flawless rounds coming out from the Passion stack. It really felt kind of unreal. Maybe that was against a weaker opponent in Regicide yesterday, but even against Nixuh, there are rounds where the Passion stack just come into their own and seem like a titan, like something that cannot be touched.
Yeah, definitely.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
There's one way in my organization that we more or less have a look at scrims from other players, is that we do bets. And I do believe that Vanquish is familiar with the betting system that I had.
I hate it.
Please do enlighten us.
It's,
Go for
yeah.
it.
So we had Me6, so we purchased Me6 for approximately a year. So we had premium for Me6 and there was bets enabled. We would normally do a score prediction. And with that score prediction there would be XP on the line for the server. So a lot of people were eager for that XP, so it definitely helped a lot of people to spectate and bet on what the results would be. Just fun to see.
If you were a betting man, who would you bet on given this game's state?
I would bet on LPS, no doubt about it. Their defense was a bit, lower than what I thought, but let's see if they pick up with their attack switch. I'm hoping for.
It feels like a lot of the time when that switch is flipped, it's like an electrical board when there is a power leakage. It just doesn't want to flip the other way. They just can't get that momentum switch to go to the other side. Cause on the prowl again down below. He's on the hunt. But there's no one to find. No prey in the area for him.
He leaves the default cam? Interesting.
Doesn't want to give away his position. If there's no one holding the default cam, might as well just leave it. Makes them even more certain. A false security that there is no one there.
Definitely play off.
Tiger's on the prowl. He is now looking. From audio calls, I can assume that he is now aware of the attacker's positions. Let us now see how he tries to conduct.
Misses the Twitch drone. Twitch drone coming back up again. Slowly peeping.
Almost getting his head. Oh, almost TKing the out of Geico. Almost ending him. Cause are getting taken out by Figure. Figure can't be happy about that.
Definitely something I would not be too keen for is that in a tournament. In the finals, matter of fact, is a team kill. It's not something I look forward to.
Unlucky.
Unlucky indeed.
The Passion Stack riding on a wave
Slow,
of jubilation.
methodical.
Will that wave crash on the beach,
out.
or will it
Sandals
drive
beach.
all the way through the countryside?
LPS is giving the push that they want, which is good to see. Can Kaiko hold it out? That's the
Things are
Holding
getting
it.
swung out. Let's see if Kaiko can now deny the plant. I think he has an idea that the plant is about to go down.
plant
But by
is
who? Still a
done.
mystery to him.
Attackers are activating
Mario's
bombs.
holding a cross angle onto the diffuser. He still has a flashbang and a drone to get the info outwards. Also holding the cross angle, getting swung, getting taken out by Kaiko. Now we wait. Don't think he's aware of Mario, who's having a cross angle. And he
It would be so
Now
funny if
we
we went.
wait. Now we see. This determines.
Oh! He got it!
Nixuh got it!
Defenders have eyes
Finally
on the
finds the
diffuser.
diffuser, and that's the round. Nexa.
Yo!
That is how you
That was-
answer back.
Diffuser disabled.
2.36 seconds left. That was beautifully played from Kaiko. Definitely clutching that 1v3. Definitely coming at you, Kanye.
Them to drop the orb.
You know, this is just blow for blow, trade for trade, tit for tat. This game is anyone's for the taking. Okay, it's a tactical timeout being called by the team, so gonna grant them that. But I have no words for what we are seeing. It is just the Passion Stack taking a round because of star players, and then Nixuh coming into their own, having place of their own. Kaiko, you madman! Something we would have
Absolute
expected to see
savage.
from this man.
Yeah, honestly, that was beautifully done by his side. Well executed. Definitely a defensive position we want to see.
Like, I think it wouldn't be the best time to explain how much my heart rate has gone up on that single clutch.
I'm more or less excited to see who can get the 2-round off, just to create that gap, more or less. It's going to be exciting. 6th pick for Mozzie. Interesting.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
So then now, Nixuh, you're on your defense. It's 5 apiece on your defense, especially on Villa. Is a place where you should feel comfortable. After that last round, I can tell you their spirits are at an all-time high. Do you ride that wave even further? A lot of the time I've compared the Passion Stack to a wave, keeping on rolling. What is the barrier to stop something like that? The Passion Stack, a team that formed recently, haven't worked too well together as a team. Or they have been working well together as a team, but the deep-rooted friendships and brethren isn't really there.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times rounds like those can hit you even harder when you aren't as tightly knit of a team.
Yeah. See, with being with friends, it's like the morale is even more there. You know, like the round's won, beers on me, you know, more or less these guys are like, okay, the round's won, we've done our jobs, you know.
Well done, everyone. It's not a mutual thing, almost. Interesting playoff here from the Malusi trying to get down the bulletproofs.
And they're just running around, 3 of them. I'm not too sure, or they're not too sure what more or less to do.
Yeah, I'm quite confused why there's 3 people clustering, but I mean, I'm only a washed up plat, so you know, I can't say much. Okay, getting one of the bandits off, that will give them an advantage.
Getting
LPS has
it right,
already
yeah.
gotten sandals out of the play and getting the vertical play on him. Does he know that? Oh,
That was
okay.
a huge miss, but more or less that would have been beautiful.
Quite strange that we're not actually seeing the Twitch being used to take out those bandits, rather the Zofia play from down below. It is effective, yes, but angles and siege work two ways, and the Zofia almost getting caught off guard right from there. Causa, currently a 3KD on this game. He has been the wild card for them to just put into positions and just crash on through. Spots the bandit, can't find him just yet. Knows there's one player behind Astro Desk. Will he go for the vertical play from down below? Maybe yes, but he has assistance from the window. A perfect answer back. And it seems Dropshot actually has fallen off of Astro Desk. Or I'm just completely confused. I think the one behind Astro Desk actually dropped down the hatch. Sorry, I was completely mistaken. But Fish trying to push the objective, realizing they're in a dire situation, has to do something, has to make a move. Whips out the M590 shotgun. Maybe not the wisest of plays as he gets traded out by King SO. It's Dropshot to try and claw things back here. The P10 Roni recently received a recoil nerf. Maybe not the best gun you want in this situation, especially with that 16 bullet ammo capacity, though the plant is coming down. There's a player holding it from Closet side. He can't really do anything. He's stuck in position, though he tries to find the first, but can't even start it. The Passion stack to take the round.
Got there. Right, now, Mana, this is where we rub our hands together and we see. Will Nexa be able to carry home? Or will they be the ones going home? Let's see.
I'm really hoping for La Passion to get this one, but with Nixuh, they have the friendship, they have the bond. So we'll have to have a look.
It's a tough situation to be in, match point. Sometimes you feel it's already started to slip away. Sometimes you feel maybe heading to the second map is worth more than maybe trying to push it on into overtime. But I can promise you, Nexa are not giving up on this one. They have players who can frag, who have shown us what they can do. Kaiko with that demonstrously incredible clutch earlier. They can ride off of plays like those. Yes, maybe some of these players lagging behind, but you can look to star players like those, people who have hardened histories within the South African Siege history. Play off of them. Let them find those opening kills. You're on your defense, why not go for a spawn peek or two? I feel like Nixuh are still in control of this one, heading to kitchen and dining. The tertiary bomb site for them could be where they put up their final stand and push it to overtime.
I do believe that I can sense a vertical attack coming on. So I wonder if they will have a defender upstairs as well, just to keep that grip upstairs.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Or not.
The drone spotting out Kaiko from down below. He's going to have to move out. Wise decision to not stay in position. We've seen what Causa can do when he's being fed intel from his teammates, so wise to just fall back.
Pulse going full cameraman, running around.
Now then, the main attack starting from the bedroom balcony area. Nade sailing on through, doesn't connect onto anything just yet. Two players up top that they need to worry about. It's Figure being joined by Sandals, I do believe. What can they do on this top floor area? Are they going to try and swing for the fences, try and take some chances? Or will they just play safe in position and try and delay some times as the walls start getting opened? What will happen within these next 30 seconds might be indicative of the round of the game to come.
There's a lot now with Figure going out.
Oh.
Top floor is open for the attackers now.
Open for the taking, and take it they do. Sprays onto the wall. Fish can't find anything just yet, being droned out. His position known. His angles being held. Can he even get out of here? No one on Astro stays to contest him just yet, but that doesn't even matter. From down below in library, he gets shot through.
Let's not count them out yet, boys. We have time. They've got time. Nixuh's got time. If LPS messes up even for a small thing, they could cost themselves the entire round.
We've seen
Yeah.
bigger errors from Le Passion Stack.
We
this
definitely
happen
have
again.
Pyko. I wonder if he can pull off something of a miraculous.
Oh,
level
Gago
there.
taking out Nixuh. Oh,
Ooh.
ooh, vertical. So many angles. Drop shot. Unable. And Le Passion take the first map. That is Vela. My nipples. Quite hard, but anyway, that was amazing, boys. I think that was amazing. That you know, you see the LPS, and obviously, unfortunately, Nexa wasn't able to pull it back. I just guess that LPS was just better. I think the French and English bond just helped out there.
Map 2 will be Clubhouse. Don't go anywhere. We'll be heading to Clubhouse shortly, within the next 5 minutes or so. Stay in chat, stay communicating. We'd love to see everyone showing support for the SSA R6 League. We will be back. Cheers, lads.
Are we unmuted?
Yes, we are, and we are in the game. Overlay has been... okay, no, okay. Everything should be sorted now. We're back. This should not be a scuffed stream no longer. The Passion Stack and Nixuh head into Clubhouse. Flores the first ban. Mr. Simp, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing alright. Just came back from a very long trip to get some medicine for myself to deal with a cough. Unfortunately, it meant I wasn't actually able to watch the first map, but I'm here now. Let's see what happens.
Should be an interesting game at that. The first one ending 7-5 to the side of Le Passion Stack. They looked fiery and ready. In Villa at times faltering, but Nexa as well having their moments of brilliance. Both of these teams coming in hot to Clubhouse. A map that, even though it might be one team's map pick over the other, it is a map that could genuinely be decided by a coin flip. One of the most storied and traditioned maps in the Rainbow Six Siege map pool, Flores and Thatcher being the first bans. So that means we're going to have all of the heart breaches on the board, notably the Maverick. But that doesn't really matter that much when Arcade is joined in the ban. What do you expect from this final one?
Well, what I'm expecting here, this final ban, I'm telling you now, Mirror. Placing my bets on Mirror. It doesn't make sense to me why she would still be in. I don't think either of these teams enjoy to play with her. But let's see, maybe. We've seen some surprising bans coming out of Nixuh over the past 2 days. But no, the Mirror ban, just what I thought.
There we go. Traditional bans across the board should make for a traditional Clubhouse. If it wasn't Le Passion Stack versus Nexa, these are teams that like to frag, that like to go for those aggressive plays and take the gunfights. What do you expect for the play style? I'm not necessarily expecting you to say who's going to win, what's going to happen. What do you expect the state of play to be in this game?
Okay, so first things first, I didn't really watch most of the first maps, so I'm going to have to try and figure out here. But realistically, what I'm expecting is, if I look at these two stacks, we know the Passion Stack. We know the comms in there are a bit weird. 2 different languages being spoken, whilst in Nixuh we've got 1 language. Nixuh has been a team that's been planning their formation for months. The Passion Stack formed 2 weeks ago. So I'm expecting the Passion Stack just to be running around. It's going to look a bit more chaotic, but a lot of high-intensity frags from the likes of Koza and Navik, maybe even some coming out from Mario. We saw some big plays coming out of him yesterday. But at the same time, I'm expecting Nixuh to show me a lot more structure and a lot more traditional siege than what we used to see.
And especially, I hope Dr. Dropshot comes into his own, a player that traditionally has been the one you rely on a lot of the time. I mean, I remember you telling me during stratting sessions, a lot of the time you'd literally just write on a strat, Dropshot, go kill.
Yeah, no, there were times where a lot of the time, especially attacking, a lot of the time the play was, okay, let's see where Dropshot gets a pick, and was work from that. Not always though, and yeah, there's times as well where I could put Dropshot in a position and expect him to get an important kill, but I see he's actually going for a spawn peek to see if he finds it. This is a map where I know he loves his spawn peeks. He's been doing them since day 1 here, but doesn't really actually find anything there.
I remember a while ago a bit of a controversial spawn peek that he had on Clubhouse. Definitely some notoriety for him, but for the time being, he's going to be a safe little boy and not do anything too risky just yet. Being joined by Fish on the extended roam up top, putting a bit of pressure onto Le Passion Stack's entry into this map.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm actually curious. Normally, Le Passion Stack, we've been seeing them doing very fast entries, but as I'm saying, that Sandals actually does put down RX to be followed up with a refrag from Koza, but that's actually your hard breacher of the board. Well, one of them at least. They do still have Mario, but that's not optimal, because that means the amount of walls you can open up has been greatly reduced. And they're just sitting here now. Yes, Mario's going to be able to open up those hatches. I do believe it is downstairs, yeah. So that means they're going to be limited to having to possibly only do a kitchen take and not having the option of church anymore available to them.
We saw yesterday church takes coming back into the meta, something I very much love, but at this point in time, all they really have to work with is, like you said, that kitchen hatch. Yes, they have King SO on the Maverick, and he is starting to open up a little bit of this dirt tunnel, but does that even matter when players are just falling left, right, and center? Newek joining RX and Death.
Yeah, so this is not an optimal situation anymore for the Passion Stack. They are pretty much sitting around here, but it depends what plays this Maverick can make as he crouch walks his way through. Does Fish actually know he's there? But Fish loses that gunfight. Kingzo evens it out, and now suddenly they may have a lot of the territory they need to be able to perform a kitchen drop here. Figure's not actually going to be able to swing that hatch if the drop goes down. Mario looks like he's rotating here. He sees the plan. He thinks he knows what he can do. They're going to have to go for something here.
Mario and King SO seemingly just switching positions. Causa holding down the crossfire from the bottom of main stairs. They have all of the aspects that they need for a kitchen drop, and indeed it does come through. Do they have any C4s to deny this? Yes, Dropshot has one in pocket, but that doesn't matter when he is dead. Kaiko trying to deny it with the evil eye, but he falls by the wayside. Le Passion Stack taking the first round on Clubhouse.
Yeah, so good work there by Le Passion Stack to identify their only option was that kitchen drop. I believe it was Kingzo on the Maverick who did well. He managed to get himself in that dirt tunnel and get that crucial pick that they needed to be able to get the territory. Because if you can hold dirt tunnel, you can stop them from swinging that hatch drop, and that's exactly what they needed. Well played there by the Passion Stack. Nixuh, they got it right. They got their first pick. The problem is they lost dirt. You can't be losing dirt that early on.
It's a big loss. I mean, when you've got a Maverick on the board, you can silently open that, and on the replay there, I'm seeing him. He just walked in, got the kill. And that's such an important position to be holding on to, maybe not indefinitely. A lot of the time during the last phase of a round, you say to the attackers, okay, just take this. But when the attackers get control of a position like dirt so early on in a game, it allows them to pivot around that position. They went for the main hatch on kitchen hatch, and they went for the bottom of main stairs. You're able to enact a kind of a pincer movement from there. Just lock down all the angles, have the diffuser drop down kitchen hatch, and take the site from there. It's exactly what happened, and it's a good way for the Passion Stack to start this one out. Nixuh opting to go for the site again. Maybe saying, okay, we are confident in our own strategies. Maybe it was just a tiny falter, maybe a lost gunfight here and there. Let's see if they can turn things around on the second try.
So looking into this now, again, what I want to see is a good thing that we've got the Maestro here, and it looks like they're actually anticipating this kitchen attack now. They're adjusting here. They've got their entire team's running impact nades, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
So they're trying to ensure that hatch... Yeah, they're hoping that hatch does not go open. They're trying to force a kitchen... a church tech, I believe. But that is going to be a little difficult here, because the Passion Stack's already opened up that dirt tunnel, so they're already looking to try and contest here. The question is, how much time can Dropshot waste in his roam here? We've seen him waste a lot of time in his roam. Sometimes just a bit of time makes it a lot easier for the likes of Kaiko. Being able to, in those last 10 seconds, use that Elder, use that Maestro Cam. Dropshot is actually supported here, I believe, is by the Legion of Sandals as well. The dynamic duo between the two of them. Big plays in the past. I want to see what they can do here.
The ARX not powerful enough to shut down Sandals just yet. Still alive and kicking in logistics. Causa and Newick. Talk about a dynamic duo. Well, we've got two sets of players facing off against each other in a 2v2. My oh my, is this fun to watch. They actually opt to rotate on back down, but it's King ASO holding down the flank, finds one. Can he find a second? Sprays onto Dr. Dropshot rather. Can't find it just yet. A Sandal sprays on through, finds it. That is their avenue back onto site secured. Dropshot finding one as well.
Nevik, gone. Kingzo, gone. Now, the problem is, a lot of the useful work's already been done. Mario is still alive, though, and he will just be able to open up that hatch. He's just going to have to keep wasting all those impact nades. But the question is, has he got enough util to waste 3 of them? I'm not sure how many charges he has left on that Hibana. A bit too much, I believe.
Pellet
so, yeah, that hatch...
pellet. Just being denied. No impacts left now.
But, now it's finally going to go open, but that did waste a lot of time, and it means now he's only got enough to open this hatch. He will not be able to open up any other hatches. So in the end, it's going to have to be that kitchen take again. Nixuh does have a man advantage this time, which they did not have in the last... I believe they did actually have it in the last round before the dirt push came. So they're going to have to try and hold something, but Causa takes a lot of damage. His Dropshot is still on the roam. 40 seconds left. This man has not stopped, and he does find Mario as well. Huge play. That's actually secured dirt tunnel for them now, which means that that drop is going to be extremely difficult to hold. And it's all down to Causa to try and bring it back for his team, but Dropshot closes it out. Kaiko before that with a good kill there, just to ensure that their team gets back onto the 1-1 scoreboard.
This is the drop shot we were expecting, and that is Nixuh coming into form. It was a wise decision to go back downstairs in Church and Arsenal, realizing that maybe it wasn't their own error They did change things around, going to CCTV and cash room, a lot of teams' primary site. Now, it is still, to me, in this game, Le Passion Stack versus Nexa, keeping Villa, everything that happened there in mind, tied apiece. This game, to me, isn't swinging one way or another. This is gridlocked still.
Well, give me a TLDR, Villa. Was it close? Not close?
It was one round Le Passion Stack, one round Nexa. One round LPS, one round Nexa. One round LPS, one round Nexa, until LPS got 2 in a row and won it.
Okay, so we're looking at incredibly close games here. As I'd expect, these are guys who, if you look at these people, they've been at the top of the ZA Siege scene since, I don't know, what was the date? You're going to have to be with your oddly specific dates again.
Wait, what was the question?
So how long have we seen these specific groups of players being at like the...
My
I know,
OCD
that's a good
is
synergy, yeah. But how long have we seen this specific group of players at the top of Siege? Probably since back when Mist.
Do you mean
formed a
everyone in
PC
this
roster.
lobby, or
I'd say in this lobby, yeah.
I mean,
5 seconds left.
the French players have been the dark horse for almost forever.
Attackers
Mario and
Yeah.
Forza,
use a bomb.
incredible players in their own. Sandals, Dropshot, Kaiko coming into their own under the original Titan and then OG roster. Fish with .6, Figure, as well as Storied Player. I mean, I'd say all of the players in this lobby are deep-rooted in South African R6.
Yeah, so it's a safe assumption to say this is kind of what we're expecting at the top. Yes, these are 2 new rosters, Le Passion Stack doing a lot of damage there to Dropshot, but yes, there's a lot of unknown elements of unknownness. Of course, it does find Dropshot there, but these teams, maybe they are new, but they aren't letting it phase them as they are still showing great teamwork between each other to go and secure what they need. But Kaiko does find the refrag of the Dropshot. He's been instrumental up until this point. I believe he actually did have a big game from what I saw on the scoreboard last game. So let's see what Kaiko can keep doing. He's been a notable figure here. Whenever Dropshot or Sandals doesn't get anything right, Kaiko tends to do it. But at the same time, on the Passion Stack, we do still have RX, Mario, and Kings who are alive. Those 3 do make big plays. So let's see what they can do for the teams here.
This just feels like a game of 3D chess. At every angle, they find the counter. Now, though, in kind of a situation of Zugzwang, what do? You have to do something.
Zugzwang?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go heavy into some chess theory, aren't I? Zugzwang, a position where you have to move the onuses on you, but you don't really want to. It is a negative having the play.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. Okay, Zugzwang. I like it. My new favorite word. But as we've been talking about Zugzwang here, Sandals does actually end up finishing off RX, unable to find those 3 kills that he still needs.
Oh,
And
okay. Drop shot as well. Just saying, okay. Oh.
then with that actually puts Nixuh on the board with that wallbang. A little bit interesting that Sandals managed to pull that off, but we have seen stranger wallbangs come out over time. So, now, gym and bedroom. I was talking about with Harper about this the other day when, before, back when I think it was Ascend who was playing. We didn't see any gym and bedroom come out of any of the teams that we saw at that point playing Clubhouse. So, I want to see what exactly teams have got in mind here, because as well, the meta has been shifting to gym and bedroom being a favorite site over CCTV.
I mean, CCTV for me in the current meta has kind of been a secondary, dare I even say tertiary site. CCTV used to be one of the most defensive sided bomb sites on this map, whereas now I'd say it's almost 50-50, almost even swinging to the side of the attackers. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably an even swing there. Because the thing is, as well, that site, you said it yourself, it's been the first for years. It was the first pick. So by this point, it's 2022 now. This game's been out for how long now? And if we hadn't figured out how to attack that site yet by now, I'm sorry, then we're doing something wrong.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, it's the site. Honestly, if I ask anyone that's played Siege once to name a bomb site, they'd probably name CCTV and Gash. It's just one of the most memorable. But memorable, maybe. Is it defensible? I don't know where I was taking that one. Basically just, yeah, Nixuh won it. TLDR.
Nixuh won it. So that now means that they are ever so closer to that important scoreline that they need to try and get, because
Bomb located by
they are
attacker.
mapped down. They can't afford to be throwing away too many rounds or throwing away unnecessary rounds here. So this is a big part for them. But looking into their defense here, they have actually gone for the standard CCTV extension here. And they are actually, the C4 does get shot out. And Nevik just follows straight in to find Sandals. But Dropshot is still there in cash, trying to waste as much time as possible.
He is
believe
just
there's a
in
crossfire.
CCTV, no one on catwalk to contest. One player in cash, yes, but that's not even gonna be a threat to him. They finally open up the CCTV wall now to give assistance to Nixuh, as he's still on the prowl, knows there's probably someone in cash,
Located.
though not 100% certain. A drone gonna come on through and confirm that shortly.
Cash is an extremely powerful power position, but only if you can hold the crossfires. But Koza has just ended that crossfire, because that is actually the castle of the board. Now it's all down to Kaiko here. Kaiko finds one big kill to help Dropshot, so they can try and hold this. It's all down to him and Dropshot, Fish, and Kaiko. Kaiko's still running around on the flank, but Fish taking a lot of damage on the side. He is not exactly in a safe position, but Dropshot, he doesn't care. He does find Koza. Big kill there on the other side of Cash, which means that they have actually retaken the territory that they lost there. So it's just a question of now, can they hold the side from the remaining attackers who are still not actually there?
Fish essentially holding down to the main bomb site on his own finally. Dropshot coming in to help him out. Spraying on through, Kaiko finds one King ASO to answer. It's a 2v2, finds the one in showers. It's all left up to Kaiko. We've seen him clutch up massive, though he doesn't have a C4. Would have been so easy for him to find this, but no, not here, not now. Surely not again. MP7 in hand. This is looking spicy. The nade coming through to deny the area of effect. Can he come up? Can he clutch this? This is the player on his left. Does he know this? Checks his right. Does he do his due diligence? No, he just sprints onto the right. Knows there's one on his left now, but a little bit too late. Can he still find this? Still very possible if he could isolate the first gunfight, but no. It's King ASO to shut him down in Le Passion Stack. Bringing it back to that tit-for-tat gameplay.
Back to the 2-2. Okay, so this is exactly what you were saying. These teams are perfectly evenly matched. I have a feeling they're going to go back to that bomb site again, and Nixuh are going to win it. Oh no, never mind. I'm actually wrong, and it looks like they're going Church and Arsenal, so forget everything I just said. Apparently, I'm stupid. But, looking into what's happened there, if I look at it, Dropshot and Kaiko did extremely well
Yes.
to hold on to cash, even though they lost Sandals early. Great play there by Nivik. He timed that brilliantly. He saw the C4 come out, and he knew Sandals was not watching that window at that time. He hopped in, got the kill on Sandals. Great timing there by him. And they took the early territory that they needed. But Dropshot and Kaiko. Kaiko worked his way back up the stairs. Did great to get the first pick. Allowed Dropshot to get that second pick that they needed. But then in the end, Kingzo on the other side just said, okay, screw you. I'm going to just run in and kill all of you. So you can have all the great teamwork that you want, all the great tactics, but if someone like Kingzo is allowed to just run in and show how good their gun skill is, what does it matter?
And it's happened time and time again. I don't know, well, you weren't watching the first game, but there were so many rounds on Villa that were won by hero plays. Kaiko in a 1v4 clutch for Nexa, an incredible round. The Passion Stack, I can't remember the exact player, but there was Koza just getting an ace out of nowhere, completely blinded, finding two people with an SMG-11. There have been so many clutch rounds for both of these teams that I don't know whether the moniker of Le Passion Stack being the fragging team and Nexa being the teamwork team is true. Both of these teams have the capability to frag, and both of them are working well together as a unit.
Yeah, it's kind of, these are two new rosters that formed and they're being perfect matches for each other, but Koza is actually in quite early here, and he is extremely close to someone there on that stairs. The Malusi knows that Koza's there, does seem aware of it, but Koza doesn't care, and he does find Fish getting the opening kill for his team, but Sandals is still upstairs. He is aware that Koza is there. The question is, what does he do with this? RX opening up dirt.
Think back to Le Passion Stack versus Meraki on Friday. Koza has been this wild card for the side of LPS. Just snakes his way into the map. No one seemingly aware of his position. That is where he shines and finds kills, but Dr. Dropshot answered back, stopping them in their tracks from taking this and running away with it, dropping down oil pit. There's no one to hear it. There's no one in proximity to have heard him drop down. There are only 2 players on site, the rest on the roam up top, unaware. Quasar, this is your site for the taking. Now though, the Wubba surely giving away his position. The lineup coming through, finds one. Can he find the second? No, not just yet. Double kill for Quasar. The site is wide open for the taking. From the side, he finds the trades, not the fully traded, as Figure is down. Is there a Kona station close by for him to get picked up? No. King SO joining him on the side. It's just drop shot up top. He can't even do anything. This is LPS with their tidal wave just rolling on through this map.
Drop shot in a bit of a precarious situation here. Yes, Figure will maybe get picked up if he doesn't get picked off before that Kona station resets itself, but until then, he's in a 1v3 post plant. Yes, he's up here in his hash, but he doesn't actually know where they are. That diffuser's in a very safe spot. He is going to get picked up here, which means suddenly this could be blown wide open if he does, but he doesn't hit the shots there. They do know he's up, but he's not really doing much. Right now, they've lost 10 seconds. They do still need to find a way in. A drop shot does still have to try and get past the person in dirt, but dirt. RX swings it and finds it. It's all down to Figure now, but Kings are from behind. We've seen him ending those rounds with his plays. This time, finds Figure, gets his team on the board again.
LPS not letting anything slide. Quasar with the openers. And after that, the rest of the team is there to just lock down that round. Make sure there are no other holes in their attack. Clinical. I mean, that attacking round for them, they read it perfectly. 2 roamers up top. Why not just take the bomb site? That's what they did. Perfectly.
Agreed with you. At this point, if I'm the IGL in Nixuh, I'm saying, well, why are we roaming so aggressively? Why don't we just anchor around the site? Because clearly that's what they're going to have to do to try and stop people from Quasar and Kings just walking their way in.
And especially when I think back to Villa, you might not have seen it on Villa, but
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
LPS are so reliant on those opening kills. The rounds where they don't find them, they feel kind of lost. It feels to me like when they're in that secondary drone phase and that late phase of the game where they need to retaliate and see what they can do in this late situation, when they haven't found at least a pick or 2, they feel lost at the wheel. Whereas Nexa, whenever it comes down to those situations, they are in control. So, Nexa, why put yourself in situations where you can get killed in those opening trades? Why not just, like you said, sit on side?
It comes down to, yes, the roaming is always a powerful tactic in this game. That ability to waste time, if you can waste a minute of their time, great. 2 minutes, fantastic. But at the same time, we came out of a utility meta now, but that doesn't mean the utility meta is completely gone. If you still use it right, you can still play it. So why aren't you saying, okay, let's leave the roamers behind, leave the vigil, let's pick up maybe a Goyo, get some utility here, and just hold them off the site and stop them from sneaking around.
The first drone's coming in, drop shot and Sandals, slinking on up the main stairs area. Completely unaware and kind of unobtrusive. They aren't posing a big threat just yet, but I might have to bite my own words. As Quasar finds the opener on drop shot, but now Sandals on the contestation for this lobby area.
As he drops down, he's looking to waste as much time as I said. He wants to waste at least a minute, possibly even 2. Fish is sitting here at the back, just watching, making sure no one tries to sneak up behind, but it doesn't look like anyone coming from there. LPS do look like they're starting to do a more generic attack here. But as I said, that they're actually opening, looks like they're planning to open up construction wall, so maybe it's not a normal attack coming out here. Nixuh, on the other hand, has lost drop shot, but Kaiko, again, getting that refrag onto Nivik. He has been the pivotal player for his team here. Every time someone else dies, I've seen Kaiko be the one to come and even out the numbers. He again gets the advantage for his team here, but will it be enough? Because Kingzo has just found Sandals, the long angle. Well played from him as well. We've seen these plays come out of Kingzo.
Look at how much pressure there is on these hard anchors on site. They're getting sprayed through soft walls and they're getting droned out, naded out at that. King SO on the breach. popping a nade. Surely soon gonna go for that plant. Diffuser is in hand of the thermite in construction, and he finds a big opener, a headshot to connect onto Fish. Your hard anchor off the board. The smoke canisters lost. Kaiko needs to come back up and hold on to construction here from the top of East. Figure, where are you, my friend? He's on catwalk, getting a bit of HP, but you're gonna need all of the HP you can find in this fight. From the side, spraying on through, hold them at bay, but they can't delay them for long enough.
35 seconds left. They've got complete control of Cash. It's just a question of when does RX actually plant? When does he feel he's in the right spot? Yes, they've had him on a drone there for a second, so they know exactly where he is, but it doesn't matter for Figure because Mario ends it out. Just swings it with the bearing, and that means now Nixuh not in a good situation in terms of the round counts going into their attacking half.
Yeah, the passion stack. Finding 4 rounds in the attack? When's the last time you saw that on Clubhouse?
Do you want an oddly specific date?
I want an oddly specific date. You gotta show up on me now.
Okay, I can't hit you with the date, but I can hit you with the exact match.
Give me a match.
It was, I don't believe it got played on stream, unfortunately, but it was
so
TT
there's
and
no
Odyssey.
evidence.
No, there is evidence because I still have the tweets about it. It was
Okay.
TT and Odyssey against ATK. The original score line was 7-1 for Titan. But then we had to go back in because we had an issue with a skin in the last round, and then ATK got some rounds back.
Okay. An oddly specific one. And nice. Well done.
I told you I'd find it, but yeah, on that note, that means now Nixuh, with it all to do, trying to bring it back now. So that, because reality is, if they don't win this map, it's over for them. This is the grand final. They're a map down. It's only a best of 3, I believe.
Yep.
Am I correct in saying that? Yeah. So this is do or die now. They cannot afford any big mistakes. They've gone for the tried and tested lineup here. Dropshot and Sandal's going to be trying to lead the way with the frags. Kaiko on the support. I don't know if I want him on the ace right now, because right now he's the guy who's been going big for his team. He did it earlier in Villa, I believe. He's doing it now. Maybe we should rather have him on the Ibana so he can go pick up those frags, but who knows? We have seen some frag aces come out. AK-12, a very capable gun.
Now, we talked about this yesterday. Going into a side swap is one of the best mentality shifts for your team. So maybe this is when Nexa claws things back. The Mujammer being placed out there by RX, a bit too late to stop the Ibana X Kairos pellets from detonating and from putting pressure onto Catwalk. He's feeling it, but Niwek wins it.
That was an angle that Figure should not have contested, because he would have known Newick saw him. There was no way Figure didn't see Newick, and there was no way Newick didn't see Figure. Recontesting that angle was not the right decision, but Kaiko tries to contest it as well, but he loses a lot of HP. Newick does not want to die. He's just holding this angle and saying, no, this is my spot.
Would have been a really big kill for the side of Le Passion stack, given Kaiko, the fragger, given he's on the ace. They're one of only 2 hard breaches. The Maverick, yes, can open up a wall, but very much reliant on that ace to come and help out. Now starting to open up on the main wall, one of the things they need to check off of their checklist if they want to make a collapse onto the site happen. But what are the side of Le Passion stack doing to answer to this? They're heading into the rest of the map, taking back their map control and saying, we're not just going to wait for you to make things happen. King SO down below. He knows the Iana's in Stockroom. He knows he's nading from below. Is he going to come and contest this? Surely at some point you need to do something, but they're just falling by the wayside as RX finds another.
The impact nades killed Fish there, okay, but I'm sorry, why were they using the impact nades? They could have just, sorry, not the impact nades, why were they mavericking that wall open? As drop shot finds a good kill onto King Zone, maybe the first to start to come back from this round. But no, Nevik shuts him down. Nevik going in the triple, going huge this map. It's all down to Kaiko there on the breach. He does find one, but he's going to have to try and step through a crosshair here, but Nevik with an unfortunate timing there. It means Kaiko is suddenly making this in a winnable situation for him. But he does still have to step into this crossfire. It's being held, and there are cameras watching his every move. He's wisely choosing to rather rotate through to rafters.
Notably, he doesn't know that the player on rafters has fallen back, but there is one to contest it. It's the Aruni, and Causa wins these Le Passion stack, pushing it on even further. You said this
I'm
was the do or die for moment for Nexa. It's getting even worse now.
I'm so confused as to why they chose to try and use the Maverick trick on that wall. Ace was still up. They just had to make a small hole, get rid of the bandit charge, and use Ace, because that got Fish killed. He got killed by those Pokeballs. Well done there to Nivik to use the ingenuity of throwing those Pokeballs right to get the kills onto Fish, but at the same time, that was a needless mistake from Nixuh. Ace was alive. There was no need to try and Maverick trick that wall.
Yeah. No need to Maverick trick, though you had to get the bandits off the wall, so you had to do something with Maverick, but
you had to do something, but there was no need to expose yourself in that way.
Yeah. So then, 2 rounds from winning the SSA R6 League seeding tournament and the 2,000 Rand final prize. It's Le Passion Stack. Nexa, this is where the rubber hits the road. This is where you need to throw everything at them.
This is where we need to see Fish and Figure start to go big. These are 2 players who we've seen them go big in the past. These are notable players in the scene. It's time for them to show up. It's time for Dropshot to say, hey, Kaiko, it's my time to shine, and for Dropshot to go start doing his spawn peeking aces like we've seen him do.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Now then, on the attack, 2 players coming from strip side. It's the devilish duo of Sandals and Dropshot. The impact they've had on this game has been felt. Not necessarily as big as they would have wanted, but it's been there. And can they keep that coming? Dropshot gonna drone out 4 Sandals here. Looks like both of them actually droning the same area. Don't know if that's the wisest of options, but hey, it works out in the end. So, they now know they've got control of strip. They're gonna start taking control of the bar area, but where are these roamers?
Well, they're roaming around upstairs. Valkyrie on the roam, Corza being big impactful this game. The question is, how can these team help him with the comms? How can they use those cameras to his assistance? Nivik up here as well. Nivik, we've seen him hit good shots today. So, these 2 going to be very, very hard to clear out, especially if those Valkyrie cams have been used well. I know the one is actually on the stairs downstairs, but Sandals doesn't care. He does find Nivik first. This means now, suddenly, the Passion Stack not getting that entry faggot they would have hoped for.
Do they know Coles is still up here, though? They found Nivik. They might think this is clear. Opt to not drone it. And that's where Corza strikes. We've seen all too many rounds of him being the X Factor, them not knowing where he is and then shining. The drop shot on the Gemini, almost getting caught out from the little wall bang through the hatch. But looks like he's just gonna maybe go down oil pit and say, I'm gonna be more useful on site than I am up here.
Yeah, so from that perspective, I think right now, yes, they've got that man advantage. They need to use it. Because right now they're doing all their drone work, but Sandals has actually just pushed his way in. But the problem is Womai doesn't even realize he's in, so it doesn't matter. But Kingzo does find him, but Kaiko gets RX, so the site has been blown wide open. It's all down to Kingzo and Corza. They're just not in an optimal position, but at the same time, Diffuser hasn't actually made its way into the site yet. Corza's holding a pixel peek onto that hatch, and he does do a lot of damage to Fish, and he finds Kaiko in the dirt tunnel. Suddenly, this plant looking a lot more difficult and a lot more winnable for the Passion Stack.
Corza seemingly aware of every vector, every angle. He did well in trigonometry in school, I can promise you that, because what was that? Keeping in mind where every single player was, going for the pre-fire on both, finding one and almost an injure onto Fish on the hatch. He still got a C4 in back pocket. He could rip it and find the kill with it. King SO joining him in the fray. This looked like a complete win for Nexa, dropping the hatch. He finds the injure. King SO, all he needs to do is deny this plant. Fish is getting picked up though. Now back in the 1v2. Fish is covering, but he's only on 20 HP. If he can take the 1v1, this might be oh so winnable. King SO 9 and 4. We've seen big clutches come out from him. Sprays onto the first and he finds it. Now, Dropshot is opting to rotate maybe onto the hatch, but realizes there's no time. If King SO opts to go for a defuse, that is the round done. Sprays on through and he finds a drop shot. Says no to Le Passion Stack's continual creep. They are bringing this one back.
Hopefully, Nexa the start of a comeback for them. A passion stack, we're looking into that and saying, well, that was close, but it's not like Nixuh dominated the round either. Yes, Nixuh got the crucial first pick that they needed. You said this earlier on, the passion stack were very reliant on getting those entry picks for themselves, but this time Nixuh got it and they did manage to perform in the end. But there's still mistakes coming out from Nixuh. You've got Sandals pushing in, getting crucial picks that are needed, and making this a complete distraction, and no one's watching the hatch drop, but yet the hatch wasn't dropped. That almost could have cost Nixuh the round.
It's really a weird play. I mean, as well, I wanted to comment on why you would have, and I want your opinion on this. Is it better to have the low HP player being the coverer for the diffuser, or be the one planting?
I'm of the opinion it should be the coverer, because sometimes it could make the difference of a random bullet accidentally hitting the planter.
Okay.
And killing him, or him surviving that one random bullet and being able to finish the plant.
Okay, fair. I'm of the opinion low HP on the planter, but I guess everyone has their opinion, and I shall respect them. But have an opinion or not, something that you have to grant is that the Passion Stack are in the lead, they have a map advantage, and they are in control still. I know we have the community completely split on this game. 50% support Nexa, 50% support Le Passion Stack, based on the community poll that I saw, but you have to grant that Le Passion Stack are in the lead. And they are 2 rounds away from winning this.
This is not what I'd be expecting from Nixuh, because, as I said earlier, this is a team that's been in the making for a couple months now. Yes, they were all still playing in their previous respective rosters, but at the same time, this team has been planned for a while. As long as I can remember about the players talking about this potential roster and the potential move. So, I'm still confused as to why we're seeing sloppy plays out of Nixuh.
Not to say that the Passion Stack aren't making errors as well. There have been errors.
Not to say.
Me, it's just that when they are in rough spots, somehow they just frag their way out of it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, they've been making plays that shouldn't be happening, but at the same time, you can attribute those plays to Nixuh also making mistakes, because at the end of the day, those rough spots, you shouldn't be able to frag your way out of in the first place if the other team plays it right.
Yeah.
But, looking into this round, it looks like the Passion Stack are actually opting... Never mind, I was going to say there wasn't a roam, but Fish actually found Nivik on the roam. I'm just blind.
You can see further than you, even though you have the observer perspective. That is what I call 200 IQ. Then,
Causa's still up here.
Yeah, he's... Every single round, it seems like he's just left to his own devices. But a lot of the time, he hasn't had the impact you would have wanted out of a player that is just allowed to persist in his position. Talking about persisting in your position, he's on a drone, and yet he doesn't really care. Maybe he doesn't know that he has been droned out, but if that player opts to swing through, that's an easy kill for them.
It could potentially be a big kill here. All the intel's being fed, and he hasn't realized, which means when that hatch is open, if Nixuh coordinated right, which I believe they're doing right now, the way that they're sitting and watching that drone and they're talking about it, that could be a free kill there. Figure, because it does find Figure, as they never completed that roam clear, and Kingzo does find Sandals, a drop shot does bring it back and find Kingzo, and Fish drops the hatch, finds Mario, drop shot finding Koza, now it's down to 1v3, all down to ZRK, but in the end, Fish closes it out for his team. Nixuh bringing it back. Is this the second round, the start of the big comeback that they need to try and get it to map 3?
It's the start of a good comeback. 2 rounds stacked up. That's what you want. That's what you want to see. That's how you start coming back. 1 round after another. 1 foot forward, and eventually you'll run the mile. CCTV and Cashroom are going back to. Nexa, on their attack, seem like a different team for me. The Passion Stack, they won 4 rounds on their defense, where they kind of were the pacemakers. But strangely enough, Nexa, and I want your feedback on this, they seem like, even though they aren't as effective on the roam clear, they are the ones calling shots at the right times to execute onto the site and just make the rounds happen for them?
I think it could be that they're not doing the roam clear. It could be that they're getting one pick and they're saying, okay, let's just ignore the other one, we'll catch him on the flank. Be that one being Koza in both those cases that we've seen so far. So maybe that's what the play is. Maybe that's what they decided they're going to do before the map, rather than wasting a lot of time. Because we have seen throughout this tournament, we have seen some roamers being able to waste up to 2 minutes in a round. And that's really not what you want.
10 seconds to go.
So, looking into this round
5
now,
seconds left.
what we've got here is LPS and Stack have opted to go to CCTV. Last time we saw them here, we did see them make the big play. We saw the mistake come out from Fish on the Maverick, choosing to Maverick trick the wall, even though Kaiko was still alive on the board and all 3 of his ace Salma charges. But Figure also losing his life very early on, but Fish trying something here. He does get rid of the mute jammer. But RX, okay, he's looking for those feet there.
You know what they say, every angle in Siege works both ways. RX realizes this and says, I am not at an advantage here. I need to fall off or I will lose my life. He's still gonna stay at the bottom of Garage, not moving too far, not being perturbed completely, but he's feeling the pressure from Nexa, and that to me is kind of representative of the overarching story. Nexa are the pacemakers. They're setting the trends, they are pushing the objective, and they are making quick work of it. Already on the main wall here. Surely gonna get the breach open within the next few seconds and set themselves up for another round, potentially.
Well, if Fish can get rid of those bandit batteries that are getting impacted out this time, then that breach is surefire to open, and that shouldn't be a problem. Again, it's 2022. We've had years of practice getting this wall open. It should go open. But what are Nixuh going to do once that's done? Because, yes, they might have that one wall open, but they haven't actually got any of the territory they need. They still haven't got Rafters control. I don't believe the Hibana has even opened up the way into the bottom of the garage yet. So, even if they've got... she has, as a matter of fact, I've been stand to be corrected there, but even though they've slowly trying to take this control, they've only got a minute left to try and get all the control they need. They aren't actually sure, they don't actually know RX is here. Does Dropshot will he be able to pick off the flick here, or is RX going to be able to get the also important kill he needs to help his team maintain Rafters control?
It's almost a comedy of error. They pass like 2 ships in the night. They don't even know of his position in the prone. Now, surely, he's hearing the audio cue. He's hearing the Hibana's Type 89 and drop shots ARX. Completely unaware, they walk up the catwalk stairs. This is where he pokes and he prods. He finds a kill from down below with the C4. That's the planter to deny it, but left in the 1v4. Mario, seeing his friends, his teammates fall by the wayside one after another. It's Nexa, tying things up 5 apiece from what looked like the ashes of a dead game. They bring it back. This is what you love to see.
This is what I've been wanting to see from Nixuh. I've been wanting to see Nixuh start to show some more structure. Don't try to play LPS and Stack at their own game. Use the fact that you are inherently you've got a lot more synergy with each other. Look at this team. These players, a lot of the 4 to the 5 players here have been playing together for months now in another roster. Yes, Sandals wasn't there for a month or 2, but they've been playing together. The synergy is naturally there for them. So use it. Use your coordination and show that structure. Yes, I think there was a mistake that they misdrawn RX there, but RX was luckily for Nixuh, luckily was only able to get that 1 kill with the C4 before Fish found him and refragged it. But with looking into that, this means now Nixuh finally looking maybe on the attack was what they needed to try and find that structure, find that confidence. You said it yourself, find that mentality reset after the half, and they're bringing themselves back into this.
It has been reset. With 3 rounds on the board and a complete side swap, it's reset. And they are feeling confident, I can promise you that. They're 1 map down, yes, but they've brought it back. They're looking at map 3 now, Cafe Dostoyevsky. That is where they'll put up their final stand, not on Clubhouse.
Do we think Cafe's gonna be just as close as this?
Oh, most definitely. Oh, most definitely, I can promise you that. You know, we saw yesterday some of these teams, i.e. Regicide, kind of being broken after a few round losses, clutch situations not going their way. But Nexa and LPS Stack, some of the most hardened players, they aren't perturbed by 3-round losses. They're not perturbed by losing a clutch situation. They're going to keep on fighting, and they are going to force the situation.
Fish looking for that pixel there. He did actually spot, I believe that's the mute, just for a second there. So he's just staying up here trying to see if he can find a pixel peek here. But it looks like he's going to just abandon it, saying he's wasted enough time. Hasn't netted a result yet. But he does do quite a bit of damage to Nevik, but Nevik does drop off, choosing to rather spare his life and use that extreme gunplay that we've seen out of him rather later on in the round. But it looks like he's actually going to try and go for maybe a potential run out here from Strip Club.
A big rotate and big potential for this run out if it can find them anything. Is there a player on the other side? No, they've all rotated to the main breach area, it seems. Oh, but he finds it nonetheless!
He does get the down. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't actually manage to secure the kill, but that is still big. That's a lot of, that means the HP advantage swings into his team's favor, but drop shot takes the man advantage to his team's favor, holding a good cross here. Oh no, that's actually Kaika's view that we're seeing, sorry. But drop shot, oh, he's playing on the windows here. Big kill there from him. That is actually RX off the board. We've seen some of that fragging potential come out of him, but he's peeking that window. Just doesn't get spotted out by the two players there. Keeps his life. Fish on low HP. He does start to cook nades, but Kaiko stops the run out there, but the Nivik just finds two, but jumping out the same window afterwards. Nearly finds three, but Sandals cancels it out, meaning that they do keep that team advantage, but Koza down in the 1v3 now. We've seen him make big plays, and he finds the first one that he needs to keep his team in this round. What can he keep it going, though? Can he keep it going? Figure it Sandals. Sandals on that Twitch, F2. A scary gun to try and face off, especially when you only got 16 bullets in your mag with the Brony.
Newek almost found 3. Koza, you're gonna have to pick up where he left off if you want a chance at this round. Staring down the potential of a match point if he wins this one, taking damage but dealing damage at the same time. He knows the diffuser is dropped. He knows they need to cross no man's land to retrieve this. Planting now behind the bed frame. There's one on the cover. It's Figure, but he doesn't know where they are. Spraying to the right. No, they're all in front of you, my friend. No info. Can he win this? One jumps out the window, one on his right does damage, but he doesn't net the kill just yet. He needs to push them up, show them how it's done. The info now being fed, the red ping's coming out. He finds one left in the 1v1, shooting out a drone. Sandals, surely knowing where he is, close on the window, can't find anything just yet. He's gonna go for the run out. He swings out, but he doesn't win the gunfight. It's Sandals to shut him down, and it's Nexa forcing it to match point, shutting down Le Passion Stack at every opportunity possible.
Much again, that round was close, okay. Much closer than what I was expecting it to be. Great play there by Nivik. Extremely risky, but that run out suddenly brought the round back into a position that was winnable. Koza unfortunately couldn't close it out for his team there, but luckily for us, that means we get to see more exciting gameplay, and we get even closer to the potential of a third map. But for that third map to happen, Nixuh needs to close this out. And the Passion Stack, I don't think they're intimidated by the fact that Nixuh's on match point. They will rather take this to overtime than let Nixuh win this.
Yeah, the ball's in Nixuh's court for what feels like the first time in ages. I say that from the perspective that Nexa, they've been showing up, but it's kind of been as an answer back. This to me is now them confidently sitting in the driver's seat, at the wheel. This is where they finish it out. They just drive the last mile. Push it home. Push us to Cafe.
Pushes to Cafe. That would actually be a great matchup. The question is now, can Nixuh keep this momentum going? Because we've seen it so far, so many times throughout this game. All it takes is someone like Koza or Nixuh, or Nivik, sorry, not Nixuh, or RX to go and have a huge play. We've seen those huge plays come out of them. We know they're phenomenally talented players on the side of the Passion Stack as well. All it takes is Kingzo to hit that one good headshot, and suddenly it's all over for Nixuh.
You know, we both said during the first few rounds of this game, we want Dropshot to show up. We want Sandals to come into his own. We want Kaiko to not be the only weight bearer for his team. The kills are perfectly sprayed at this point. They're all doing their part. This is a Nexa that you love to see. And that is Koza getting shut down. Nexa on the cusp of pushing us into cafe.
Big kill there. Koza being so instrumental throughout these rounds for his team. That kill by Sandals could be the one that defines it all. Also, we know the Passion Stack using those entry picks in their advantage, suddenly being at a deficit here, not good for them.
This is the first time that all of Le Passion Stack has been on site. No roamers. After losing Koza, they said, okay, we feel scared now. We've been in control. Not anymore. Not right now. They're opening up the hatches. They're putting pressure onto the bomb side. We're a man down, facing down, going into map 3 when we thought we had this in our hands, clutched in the palm between our fingers. King SO is going to try and put pressure onto Moto, but the player hasn't even dropped yet. They're up top and putting so much pressure onto these players, but figure what he's dealing, he must also feel the impact of, as a grenade is going to fly on through the Jaeger in his position, getting completely naded out, yet he's still left to survive and stay in position. The nade finally finding the DBNO and finally the kill. Nixuh, they just need to finish it. This is but a formality for them in the 5v3. Surely this site is going to fall soon.
This round, it suddenly looked like a Nixuh round. It looks not so one-sided, but RX is in a position where he can completely swing it here if he can just get the kill. He does! And Kaiko with a team kill as well. This means suddenly it's a 2v4. It's 2v3 now. Not the manpower advantage that Nixuh had before, but RX is extremely low on HP. But it doesn't care. It doesn't phase him. He's down in the 1v2 now. Extremely low HP. Kaiko's planting down with drop shot with the plant. This is a deja vu moment. We saw him have a big clutch here yesterday. Can he do it this time? No. Drop shot swings and gets the kill. Taking us to map 3.
And that's Nixuh shutting down the haters, shutting down everyone that had a single thread of doubt in their capability. They bring it back 5 rounds in a row with one of the most comfortable plays I've seen on Clubhouse in a while. That is us for now. Join us back for map 3 and Cafe Dostoyevsky in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. More action to follow. Welcome back
Good.
to the final game between Stack and Nixuh as we head to Cafe Dostoyevsky. Mr. Simp, what are you expecting from this one?
I'm expecting another extremely close game then, because Nexa suddenly woke up on their attacking half, and I'm expecting to see that continual flow here. We saw yesterday, as well, I believe it was yesterday with you, we saw the Stack on their attack being extremely proficient on this specific map. So I think I'm very curious to see how exactly all these attacks are going to play out. I think that's where we're really going to see some of the great gameplay from these teams. Also, I'm curious to see if Nexa, when they get into the defensive half, can they stop that attacking aggression we saw from the Stack, not only in this game, but yesterday against Regicide.
Now, importantly, you said Nixuh, they're starting on their attack. They just won 5 rounds in a row on attack in the previous map of Clubhouse. Does that momentum carry over, do you think?
It certainly does. It really does. Although, we've got to consider as well, this is not a map which is traditionally as easy to attack as what Clubhouse is. But the potential is for that momentum to just carry over and keep going, and for great gameplay to come out as a result of it.
So then the band's coming through. Thatcher, Flores, Valkyrie. Who will the final one be? Flores, notably, I've seen a lot of teams utilizing, especially Stack during their game against Meraki on Friday, to nade out those positions in Pixel, in Shaiko spot, whatever it may be. It's a really useful operator on this map. Taken off the board, then joined by Cade. Given the state of the bans, do you think this is going to lean to the attacking or the defensive side?
Look, Mirror's in play. That's already going to make attacking a lot more difficult. It depends on exactly how the Stack even chooses to use her, if they do opt to use her. But I do see a Blackbeard pick coming out here for Sandals. Not as common since the nerf happened, but the potential is still there. But I don't believe the Mirror pick is actually coming out, so I don't know. I'm still thinking Nyx is going to have some of those momentum going in, but it really comes down to how exactly can they counter the Stack's Cafe, because we've seen it out of them being very good. And as well, if I look into the former French rosters players here, this has always been a strong map for those players in particular.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned this during our broadcast yesterday, that the original ATK stack back in the day, we would joke about how linear their attack was. I feel like that's kind of switched up. There are new ways of attacking and defending on Cafe, would you not say? That has evolved during the last, year and a half?
Maybe, yeah.
Especially with the introduction of new operators.
Yeah, you could definitely say that. But as well, you could look into it as well as new operators and the changes that Ubisoft have made. They're forcing a meta, okay? Yeah. Because the meta became very much, let's just get rid of a shield.
Yeah.
If we get rid of that shield, we win the round. And now it's switched around a lot to the point where you really need to be getting those kills. There's a huge emphasis on trying to get those refrags, trying to get those kills, and a lot of emphasis again on that time wasting with the roam.
Now then,
so I don't think a linear. Well, right now we've got 2 of them. I believe it's Melusi and Legion roaming around, but it doesn't look like Nixuh care because they're just pushing straight in. They're just looking to take the territory that they need immediately, it looks like.
Completely unaware of the player in Longbar. Sprays on through to his position though, now aware. Are they going to call the Legion to come back down and help out? A lot of the time we've seen Causa opt to rather just stay in position and be a nuisance from there. They have to send up Fish to clear out that position. Meanwhile, Dropshot is still just in control of this VIP and Longbar area. The C4 gets ripped but doesn't connect.
So, no, not so. Looking into this now, okay. Nexa have taken very early control here. But that Legion of Causa, we've seen it time and time again, him just sitting there waiting for very late flanks. He's doing that again. They don't know he's there. Fish, though, might find him. He's coming down, but Causa does find Kaiko and strikes hard. That's the hard breacher off the board. Hatch will not be going open, and he actually has the defuse, and he finds a second to drop shot as well. Important plays here by him.
Very big to find, completely shutting down this top floor contingent of the attacking side. Dropshot, he had control of down below, but he had to rotate up to answer back to this threat inside of Train, and he dies up top. Now leaving the rest of his team, Sandals, Figure, and Fish, reeling. They're trying to open up these verticals, but they still don't even have control of train. Nixuh is still there. Causa is still in reading. They need to do something about them.
Nixuh had control, and then they lost at the end because they didn't play this out. Fish is aware that Causa's there, and he does find the killers. Causa swings. Sandals does also get RX, bringing a man count advantage. But as you said earlier, Nivik is still up on the prowl. He still has the potential to cause havoc here. Then it doesn't look like Nixuh know. They're possibly going to be making the same mistake twice. Maybe they hear the sound cue here as he did move quite quickly. But no, they don't realize that he's causing havoc. Fish is gone as well. This means now Figure does find the refrag, but there is no hard breacher on the board. Sandals and Figure are going to have to try and force their way in through a doorway or through some way into the site because no hatch or wall is going to be opened up here.
Attackers have located a bomb.
They've shut down the players up top. Now they need to translate this onto a side take. 2 players on side. King, SO, and Mario. They've got the Kona stations to perpetually heal themselves up, but that doesn't matter. A bullet is a one-shot headshot in Rainbow Six Siege, and when you find them, well, there's no way to come back from the dead. King SO left to clutch this up. Figure, he needs to make his way down. It's only Sandals that can contest this. He finds one. Figure is too far away as he jumps his way into Freezer. He has the diffuser, yes, but no time to make this plant happen. LePash and Stack take the first round.
Figure mistimed that awfully there. Maybe it was just a communication. Maybe there was a communication issue in the team that they didn't actually communicate the time. It could just be a little bit disorientation because of how that round occurred. But who knows what happened. Reality is Figure mistimed it there, and that got Sandals killed. Well, it didn't get Sandals killed. It lost him the round because there was no way for a refrag to come with Sandals there. No way to cover a plant.
Do you think... So, Nexa, they got control of VIP and Longbar within about 20 seconds. Do you think they should have, in their mind, said, okay, they have roamers at the top floor, but let's not worry about them and just pushed onto site? Do you think that would have given a different outcome?
Well, it's always that's the same question you always have to ask yourself when you look at that SSG roam that SSG came up with in Clubhouse, and a lot of teams have used. We've used it ourselves. It's that yes, you can just push into that site and maybe brute force your way in, but are you going to be able to withstand the collapse that comes out from the roamers? Because you're going to lose 1 or 2 bodies pushing your way into the site, which is going to mean the man count gets evened out, and then you're going to have 2 roamers collapsing in on you, and from an angle where you don't actually have any good cover from, you know?
Yeah. I mean, hindsight always 2020. It's hard to say that any one strat could have worked in any given situation at the end of the day. Siege is an FPS game where one gunfight determines all of it, and in the last round's case, well, 2 gunfights, 2 kills from Causa and 1 from Nixuh meant the largest deal of that round. Again, now, Nixuh spawning in from the east side of this map. Surely going to go for the slow and methodical take, opening up these hatches, putting up pressure from Skylight, or will drop shot once again just rush up these white stairs.
I don't think we're going to see him rush up those white stairs. Pushing up those white stairs tends to be not end very well for most people, but they are prepping a nade here. Good teamwork coming out here, but the nade actually doesn't go where they needed it to land. Slight miscalculation there on drop shot with the angle, but there was some good teamwork, attempted teamwork there coming out from Nexa, but Kingzo is actually pinned in this corner now. As long as someone's sitting on that window, he cannot move.
Tiny bit of a whiff, yes, but in any way he has 2 Jaeger ADSs, so it would not have connected either way. Droning out now, seeing that top red wall is prime for the taking. The Jaeger from underneath Skylight, seemingly contesting this. No fear in this world. Both of the desks, Shaiko desk and one closer to default plant, have been completely naded out of position as Dropshot finds an opener onto Nixuh, a player that has shined in previous rounds and in previous maps, not going to be able to contribute to this round. As the rest of Nexa are making quick work of checking everything off of their checklist. Notably, no player on Pixel.
No player on Pixel? I do believe the player who was meant to be on Pixel is actually the player that's trapped in the bathroom. Because right now, he's not in a position where he can actually move as long as Dropshot is sitting there. Because if Dropshot starts hearing footsteps, he's just going to swing that.
For himself, surely. He's kind of choosing to stay here.
He's choosing to stay here, yeah. He's still trying to keep that territory in your knees, but I mean, he cannot retake Pixel. He's kind of, well, now that Dropshot's gone, he could, but he's been kind of just trying to hold that area from a not optimal situation, but it doesn't. The rest of his team doesn't care. Mario finds Kaiko, Fish to find Kuzo, a big kill there. Now it's all down to the 3 remaining players in the passion stack. There's a minute left for Nixuh to try and find a way in, and they are looking to be setting up for their plant here. Sandals finds Kingzo, but RX is down below. He doesn't have any C4 though, he is a Jaeger. So he's not going to actually be able to have too much of an impact. So realistically, at the moment, it's all down to Mario on the side to try and deny this plant and delay time. As Sandals finds RX. Mario with all to do now. Finds the first one that he needs, but drop shot, drops the skylight, finds him. First round and for his team here.
We were speculating during Clubhouse whether Cafe might be a one-sided affair. No. Tit for tat, once again.
Again, same thing we've been experiencing. 1-1-1-1. But at the same time, that round from Nexa an attack, it looked like a very good attack.
Yeah.
It's what I've been wanting to see from them. I've been wanting to see those strong attacks.
And well, we saw that on Clubhouse. We definitely saw that on Clubhouse.
Yeah, we saw that on Clubhouse. And I was wondering if we were going to see it again here, and it looks like we were seeing it again there. Yes, maybe lost the early man advantage that they got themselves initially by killing Nivik, but at the same time, they made it work. In the end, they got it down to a 4v1.
Yeah.
Whilst they were setting up for their plant, not even while they were executing, just by setting up for the execute.
You know, a lot of the times, Siege in previous updates and previous patches, like you said, the whole idea of the main objective has to be clearing out one shield. I feel like nowadays, more and more we see early gunfights happen, trades happening before a site take, kills happening, players being in situations where they're not holding onto strong positions. They get caught off in rotates, whether that be because they get forced into it or whether they are just caught unaware. Nexa are, in my opinion, doing really well to just force mistakes out of the passion stack.
Agreed, yeah. I think that's what they've been doing as well. You said it earlier yourself, I believe it was on I forgot the map's name now, the previous map that we played. What's the map's name gone on my head now? But either way, I believe you said it earlier where the passion stack was so reliant on those first picks. And we saw it there again when Nivik got killed on that run out without getting a first pick for his team. The passion stack crumbled. Clubhouse, that's the map's name.
Very precarious situation for him to be playing in, going for those early aggressive positions. He's kind of been slagging this game. He's trying to bring it back up. But King Eso with the opener, Dr. Dropshot to find an answer back. Sandals joining the fray with a lot of damage done onto himself. Newark eventually shuts him down. The Passion Stack, this is what they are known for. Just finding these early engagements and coming out on top. How can Nexa answer back? That is the question. Because a lot of the time when they lose that opening gunfight, those few opening gunfights, it seems like they just can't bring things back. Is this where they change that? Because they have such momentum behind them. Figure threads the needle, finds a very important kill onto King Eso, which might be exactly what they need. And another.
Right now, oh, big kill there by Dropshot. That's the pulse of the board. Now again, it's all down to just the Mirror and RX on the Jaeger. Mirror, very strong operator, can definitely hold the site on their own. The C4 comes out from Mario. Brilliant throw there to get rid of Dropshot. Suddenly bringing the man count back into his team, back into an even odds here for both the teams. But that Mirror window is going to ensure that essentially you cannot push the site from Christmas there.
We've got a little bit of time because these players are down below. Did that C4 bounce off of the nade and fly even further out the window? I believe that's what happened. I'll have to check the replay, but that was a very strange angle for that C4 to fly.
That C4 went very far. I'm with you. I'm not quite sure exactly how it went that far. I doubt it bounced off the nade. If it did, that's the first time I've ever seen that myself.
Well then, whether it did or not, he got a kill, and now it's left in a 2v2. The Jaeger of RX posted up inside of Cigar Shop on the hatch. Here's the Legion Goo mine being tapped. A Nomad air jab, locking him in position, but that doesn't really matter. He was going to stay here either way and play his position till death do him part. Waiting, debating, spots the player, no trigger discipline needed. He just finds the kill. Seemingly, the memory of a goldfish as the Nomad air jab placed out 2 seconds earlier finds him, but that doesn't matter. He finds the final kill. And Le Passion Stack, don't let Nixuh keep it going.
Big play there by him. Mistake there from the side of Nixuh not to drone that out. That should be droned out.
That definitely. Well, there wasn't time. There
wasn't a lot of time. But at the same time, that still should have been droned out earlier in the round because he's been sitting there the entire round.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, I mean, they did really well. I think it was smart to go down below and see if you can find those vertical nade plays. Yeah. Didn't work out for them though, so it's kind of just a sad moment.
It's unfortunate that for Nixuh there that the rounds that the nades didn't really play out the way that they wanted, but at the same time, the Passion Stack played that well. Yes, they lost Kurza early on in a bad way in the crossfire there between Dropshot and not sure who the other person was, and he got in a bad situation. But at the same time, Nivik made a huge play there by managing to pinch off Sandals and putting Sandals in a hugely bad situation, which he wasn't able to win, and Nivik ultimately with that got a huge kill. Yes, he didn't use the C4s because he got picked off later on by Dropshot. Didn't really matter, because he'd done his job. He'd gotten that early man advantage that they needed.
Now, the Passion Stack with a bit of banter in all chat there that you might have seen. They have kind of loud-mouthed their way through this tournament, saying, we're just a pub stack, we don't use strats, we just play this ranked style. They're kind of joking in chat that this is the first time they're actually using a strat. So let's see if it works out for them.
So, looking into this round now. First things first. I don't think we're going to see any amazing C4s like that again. That was a bit of a yikers of a C4 drop shot.
That was a bit of a black swan. That was something that doesn't happen a lot.
But looking into this now, they have actually got to rotate into Bakery, so they are looking to extend in here, but they haven't actually got any territory or anyone actually in there holding the territory. If Sandal spots it out, which he does, he's making it in and taking the control they need already. Early control being gained here by him.
Calls Le Passion Stack's bluff. They're not playing in Bakery, and he finds a kill because of it. Can he find a second? The red ping coming through, but not just yet. He's pushing his way into service. This is what we said Nixuh might just need to do. Screw the roamers, let's just go onto site and we kill them one by one. Get the plant down, win the round. It's as easy as that. Kurza from up top trying to see what he can do. But with the plant going down, it's a dire situation.
Attackers are activating the bomb diffuser.
That should not have happened. Nivik should not have abandoned that position because now that just opened up the site entirely. And as you saw, the plant goes down. Sandals on the triple kill. He's having a tear this round. He timed it perfectly. Kaiko unfortunately does kill him with a TK there. Trying to stop him from getting an ace, I believe, there. But RX now pulls his way to the site but doesn't get a kill. But Kurza finds Dropshot and Kaiko finishes it off into Kurza. Huge round plays there.
Such a good read. To just go in, see it's clear. Maybe they're a bit late and still doing a setup, or maybe they really were just bluffing and holding on to Bakery, whatever it may be. They read it perfectly. And they got the round because of it. So, what we can tell is that the moment the Passion Stack use strats, it doesn't go well, so maybe they should just go back to not using strats. Let's just go back to gunfights. Easy peasy, man.
Because clearly Nivik didn't know the timing. Didn't know that Sandals is just going to walk his way up there and just stare straight to the site at him. But with that really good read there from Sandals, that gets them 2 rounds on the board on the defensive side of the map. That's good for them. That's the minimum is what they would needed. Now anything after this is potential just bonus rounds for Nixuh. It could even put them into a very favorable position going into the other half.
So you think 2 rounds on the attack is perfect? You should be satisfied with that.
I think 2 rounds on the attack is kind of the minimum you would want on. It's kind of like
go for more.
I don't know about minimum. I'd say it's not critical going into the next half.
Okay, I get you.
But at the same time, you do still want to try and go for more if you can.
Yeah, always.
There's no such.
I know CS has the idea of let's save this round so you can set up for a better next round. That's not a thing in Siege.
No. But at the same time, with these 2 rounds, That means even if they were to lose the next 2 rounds and go to a 4-2 split, that means they're not in a disadvantaged situation. But Mivik with a potential chaotic play there, but drop shot hits him with the flick, and now that means they have lost that early man advantage. Nixuh getting that first pick that they've been looking for. We've seen it time and time again. The team that's been getting the first entry kill into a round tends to win. Maybe that's going to be the situation here again.
I feel like Nexa, for the first map and maybe a bit of the second map, just weren't ready for the aggression coming on from LPS stack. Nexa, now realizing what type of opponent they're facing, they're ready for anything. And Dr. Dropshot shuts him down as soon as he tries to challenge. Kaiko with a little bit of a sticky situation, but a refrag coming out from Figure. Good teamwork to find it.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Unfortunately though for Nexa, that is actually a hard breach off the board. Ooh, some slight mistiming there from RX, nearly catching Fish off guard. But...
You see him? He sees the elbow. Does he
Does
not?
he? Oh, does.
He does?
Oh, he just didn't register it. He takes a lot of damage from it. No damage being returned though. He is holding this position as hard as he can. He does a huge amount of damage to Fish, but the nade is not in a position to kill him yet. He's still wasting time here, but Dropshot finally finds him, and he has potentially found a way for these teams to get away into the site now. Koza is still upstairs, so it means it's going to be on to King, so to try and hold them out, but he doesn't do a good job at it, or long enough job at it, because Dropshot is just pouring his way in here, tearing his way through the stride now. Site, now it's all down to Koza. He has got this way into the site, but he flicks over the wrong time. It doesn't matter, he does still manage to find Figure. Managed to bring it back to a 1v3. 40 seconds left for him to try and find these 3 kills. He does get another down. He's making big plays, we've seen it. He's awfully aware that someone could be flanking around, but he's not quite sure how to approach it. He's still got another 13 seconds to get to that diffuser.
That's a lot of time in a clutch situation like this. The drone surely gonna give away his position, gives up the goose with the spray, but 15 seconds. Within the next 7 seconds, he needs to be on that diffuser. He has come in clutch with an SMG-11 before, but not this time. Not now. Sandals with the final kill. Nixuh, it feels like, are just shutting down LPS stack. Sure, LPS stack have had rounds where they put up a fight, where they find good rounds. I mean, we had the Jaeger there behind Bakery staying alive for about 20 seconds longer than he should have, but it feels like Nexa, there's just something different in them for this third map. And I said earlier, it's maybe them just being ready for the aggression from the Passion stack.
This is what we've been wanting to see out of them. This is the type of gameplay we'd be expecting from Nexa as well. You'd be expecting a team that's been together with as long as him and as well rehearsed as them to start dismantling the Passion stack. But you said it yourself. We've been seeing huge plays out of the members of the Passion stack. We saw RX absolutely wasting so much time there. Yes, he didn't get killed, but he did a huge amount of damage to Fish and wasted a huge amount of time in utility there behind that bar counter. The individual plays that the Passion stack have been making had the ability to just absolutely tear apart any team.
Do you think...
Looking into...
Yeah, go.
Yes. Do I think? Sorry.
Oh, do you think the Passion stack at this point in time are a bit scared?
I don't think they're scared. I think they're just looking into it and saying, well, we're at a disadvantage now, but they need to get this third round, okay?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think they know their attacks are extremely good. We saw it yesterday, how good their attacks were. Attack is also where those individual plays can really start to shine. But at the same time, it just comes down to how well rehearsed are Nix's defenses here.
I mean, not at all. They've publicly stated they did not scrim at all for this. It is not rehearsed. It might be working, but I feel a lot of the times it's the case of a broken clock being right twice a day. Koza, well, this is his time of day to shine. That is a really good C4 kill to find, and it's onto Figure, one of the soft breaches who now they're gonna... Okay, he has at least opened up the hatches, so that's fine. He has done his part.
That's still big though. That's 2 nades gone that you could have been using. We've seen, maybe not always to great success, but we have seen Nixuh using those grenades, trying to find picks, using them to clear utility. That's gone.
Nivik knows there's an air jab. He has an impact in hand, and I think he's waiting for a call out from his team. Goes for the run out, and he finds the player, can't connect with the shot. Eventually, can't even find it with the RG15 connect. Knows there's a player up top, he goes for it. The confidence is there, but the kill is not. They find the trade, but it's in a 4v2.
It may have been a bit of a whiff fight there, but in the end, he got a hugely impactful kill there. There was another kill that came out from RX onto Kaiko, meaning the Heart Breacher is now gone. It's all down to Sandals and Fish. They're going to have to frag their way in here. Not an optimal situation when you consider this site is extremely difficult to force your way in, and there's a mirror window that they're staring down as well. We saw this a very similar situation earlier on, except it was a 2v2. Now it's a 3v1. Fish does find RX, but Koza is still playing aggressive here. He's got the mirror window for backup further back, but he's choosing to fall back.
Such a notorious position for him to be playing in, that little area between the bar on the red window and the Christmas stage. He's done it so many times previously, and almost every single time he just wins those. It's somewhere he feels comfortable and somewhere he finds kills from. Fish, you know, I said, and it's already been posted on Twitter as some of the R6 events, unfortunate events, acasticos, whatever you want to call it, of me saying a team takes a tactical timeout in a clutch situation, but this for me surely is them just delaying now.
It is potentially. He spots the top of Goza's head there, does get the one, suddenly it looks a little bit more winnable, but he's still going to have to try and fight the mirror window if he peeks either of these angles, as we see there. Those mirror windows are not easily contested, especially if you do not have your Heart Breacher on the board to get rid of them.
That's a good answer back, bringing it to 3-on-3. A split half. Not like
Split
we've
half?
seen that the entire day, but...
But at the same time, yeah, not like we've seen that the entire day, but at the same time, if I'm Nixuh now, that's feeling a bit more that's a bit confidence boosting on the fact that this is Cafe. Getting 3 attacks in your first half, that's promising.
I mean, I'd say, in my opinion at least, I know opinions are a dangerous thing around here, but I'd say this is about a 50-50 map.
Yeah, I'd say the problem now is for Nixuh is that the Passion Stack, their attacks are scary. Yes. Especially if one of them is allowed to just crouch walk into a place that they shouldn't be, like we've seen time and time again, either Koza or Nivik or even RX do. That will cause chaos.
It's been quite a while since I've seen a castle being brought on Long Bar and Cocktail. I can't think for the life of me where it actually plays most of these out. Sure, that one on Heaven makes sense, but where would he realistically place the others?
You could use them in, I was going to say here, so like this, to help protect those mirror windows so that mirror window can't just be shot out from the window. And the third one, potentially, I would actually place it there by Cigar Lounge.
Now,
if you had a deployable shield in there, but there is no deployable shield on the side of Nixuh.
Yeah,
so
this is a strat that most of the time you'd play a shield in Pixel, maybe one in Bathroom, maybe one in Freezer, but no deployable shields being brought, rather just mirror windows, and might be smart to do this. I mean, a mirror window a lot of the times much safer than a deployable shield, so let's see how it works out for them, I guess.
Let's see how it works out, but it looks like that castle window in the back there was quite smart, because it does look like Nivik was actually looking to go and sit there for a little bit. So that is going to deter him, maybe slow it down. But it looks... Where is that Twitch? What am I seeing?
You're seeing Koza do the same thing he did against Meraki. Go into bottom white and just get kills. Now, he is not as dangerous, as brazen to just go for it as he was last time. Dropshot is ready for it. Would have been unwise to just gun for it, but again, just posing that threat, making his presence known. There's one player on the rappel now, opens up the castle barricade, but doesn't actually put pressure onto Heaven. He knows that's a precarious place to be playing out from. Spots drop shot on the drone, but doesn't look like they have an answer back to his position just yet.
Drop shot in a very, very strong position here. If that person on the hatch drops down, he can cause a lot of havoc as well. He's going to be supporting Sandals there, but Sandals actually chooses to fall back. There's a potential here for a pre-fire to come out to drop shot his head, but it doesn't look like the Passion Stack are acting on this intel yet. but it does look like they are droning Corza in, so they are potentially going to be trying to clear out this bottom here, as Nivik does finally find Sandals with their frag nade. And Corza is aware of Dropshot being down there. He is looking for him.
Oh, that might just find the kill from the skylight. He does so much damage onto Fish, and down below, Corza is still on the hunt, though it looks like Dropshot is aware of this presence. But look at all of this. 3 players grouping up inside of Cigar, ready to take onto this bomb site in the castle, finally losing his life. Dropshot still on the prowl, hunting for Dropshot, who's making his way back up White Stairs, joining his teammates on site, because that's what's needed. That is where he is needed. Figure down below has a C4 in hand, could cancel a plant, but they're not even going for a plant. They're just going for kills. Finds one, though. That's a good answer back. Kaiko slamming them with the Vector, but it's now just Figure. There have been some insane clutches with the SMG-11 in this game, but it would be a miracle run to find this one. Corza to shut him down. Lepassion stack with a good opener on their attacking phase.
That's a little bit unfortunate that he chose to switch to shotgun, because he actually got the first shot off. So if that was the SMG, it probably actually would have hit the headshot. A little unfortunate there for him, but as we said earlier, the Passion Stack winning that first attack, that attack looked mighty. The nades doing all the work that they needed there. Getting that early pick, getting that entry frag that they needed. That puts them into the points advantage.
And that's a big thing, to have the lead. Because they had the lead after the first map and into most of the second game, until Nixuh came with the comeback. I feel this is the first time in about, I'd say, an hour and 15 minutes that Lepassion Stack are in the grand scheme of the game in the lead.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Yeah, but at the same time, this whole game we've seen it go 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, 4-4. Potential for that to happen again, but at the same time, taking the lead in that could help, because that could potentially mean you're the one that hits match point first, which means the ball is in your court.
Truly. And that's one of the biggest things, is just to have the pressure onto the other team. To just tell them, we're not playing around. We want to win this. Not that neither team maybe doesn't want to win this. They are gunning for this. This has been a game of excellence thus far. I think back towards some of the greatest games we've had in the Sub-Saharan Africa, Rainbow Six Siege scene. ROG Invitational, Incredible Connection Middle State Open, WLE 10K, Titan Gaming 10K. So many of these tournaments where you've seen greatness, and this is one of them. This is one of the best games I've watched in a long time.
Yeah, maybe it might not be featuring the same iconic org names that we've known so greatly throughout the scene over the years, but at the same time, this game has still been great.
Same players, different org.
Exactly. Just under different banners, different rosters, but still seeing the same great gameplay. We're still seeing the same great moments. If anything,
but that's a moment. Corza, what are you doing, my friend? FMG 9 in hand, snakes his way up White. That is what we were talking about just in the last round. How does he do this? How? He finds Figure, he finds Dropshot, 2 incredible players, now off the board. How?
That shouldn't have happened. That right there was
by every
not watching
calculation
anything.
that shouldn't have happened.
That right there was something that shouldn't have been happening, but RX now also extending this man lead for his team. Now it's all down to the castle of Fish and Kaiko and the Mirrors. 2 very well-known players, 2 very well-experienced players. Mirrorwind is also here able to aid Kaiko, but still can be very, very limited in what you could potentially actually pull out here. Fish
Kaiko
gets down, meaning it's all down to Kaiko.
What can you really even hope for here? He's got a crossfire set up onto his position, and he's got on his screen a flawless round for Lepassion Stack. We have seen Lepassion Stack with quite a few flawless rounds throughout this weekend. I believe around 5 of them in their game against Regicide. I speak completely under correction, that is just a rough estimate. And as well a few against Meraki, but I believe that's the first flawless round we've had in this game. Really showing that Nexa are a team to be reckoned with. But they're falling by the wayside now. If they can't bring things back now, it's starting to look dire. I've kind of painted this picture this entire game of Nexa being the ones in the driver's seat, but that's not the case anymore.
At this point, it kind of comes down to, can Nixuh repeat what they did in the previous map? Because I did believe we saw as well the same scoreline in the previous map, where we hit 5-3 and then Nixuh brought it back to a match point for themselves. So they've opted to go downstairs. They're going to have to make something here, because one little mistake, one little moment with someone like Causa just crouch walking up somewhere where they shouldn't be, and that's match point for the Passion Stack. Not what you wanted to see.
That's a very scary thing. I mean, like I said, one away from match point, then you have to go into overtime, where I believe I'm going to try and pull it up, but I think Nexa will be starting on the defensive side in overtime.
Oof.
Which, you say oof, but traditionally you want a defensive side. But
Traditionally
this game is,
you want to
yeah, it's just completely flipped this game.
This game, we've been seeing both these teams have been looking a lot stronger in attack. This is a characteristic that does tend to show up a little bit in newer teams, because the structure isn't there, so bigger plays can come out. But right now, this is not looking good for Nixuh, except when Kaiko does stuff like that, where he gets that early entry pick onto Nivik.
Oh, finds
Finds his down onto Causa down as well. He nearly finds the third as well, but he's done his job. He's wasted some time. He's done a lot of damage, but Kingzo's just pushing through. Yes, he takes a bit of damage, but he's just pushing his way through. He's just trying to get his util work done.
Being stopped every second time he tries it, but now finally starting to open up the wall. Dr. Dropshot is still up top, and they need to worry about him, though King Eso shuts down Fish after he finds one for himself. 3-on-3 now with King SO falling off. Nexa with a great kill to find. Surely that is the round for them. He can't find the pickup onto King SO. I imagine not. This is Causa in a precarious situation. He's on low HP. The Evil Eye might just be able to find it, but no, finally shot out. Facing off against Figure and Dropshot. 2 full HP players against Causa on around 20.
He's having to face off with that crossfire with that LMG of the Elder. You don't want to mess around with that, but this nade, if it comes sailing through the right angle, could potentially cause chaos in the plans here, but it doesn't. Which means he's going to have to try and step through this crossfire with that LMG, ducking down to try and avoid it. But even if you get past that crossfire, you still have to deal with drop shot. Though we've seen Causa make big plays as well in the past. He's got a minute to make this work. What can he do here?
Exactly where both players are. When Causa has intel, that is when he shines, but Nexa just shut him down. The Elder runs him through with a few bullets. And another round for Nexa. A good way to answer back to what might have been the Passion Stack running away with it. Not yet. Not right now.
Not right now. Nixuh clawing their way back. They're saying, we want to win this. They're going to Reading Place now, I believe, Reading Room and Fireplace now. I do believe this is actually the first time we're seeing anyone go this site.
Indeed it is. Quite strange.
It'd be interesting this. Well, I think it's a site which is strong, but you do need a bit more teamwork there. So maybe the Passion Stack earlier on in their half said, well, maybe with our comms we're not going to be able to have the teamwork we need for this. Nixuh, on the other hand, opting to go for it instead of trying to go back upstairs. Gonna have to see if they can make it work better than what they could with Cocktail.
Who was the rogue coach that became kind of a strat YouTuber and then quit like a while back?
That would be Reaper.
Reaper, exactly. One of the arguments he always made was the strongest site on any map is one below the most defensible area. I would argue Cocktail is the most defensible area in this game. What's right below it? Well, the site of Reading Room and Fireplace. If you can hold on to this top floor area, you are golden.
I understand that argument and I can agree somewhat with it, but there are certain maybe exceptions where I wouldn't agree with that argument. Maybe Clubhouse, if you look at Bar,
yes,
I wouldn't agree with that argument.
Yes.
But at the same time, it is still... They're getting the point across. It gets the point across here, and it is correct. But setup is a little bit odd compared to what you usually see. Usually you see teams, if you look at the freezer wall, there you actually see them reinforce off both those walls. But this time we've seen actually them extend in there with behind a Goyo shield. Maybe the potential to cause a lot of chaos there. But it looks like Causa is actually being droned his way in here to trains. Are they
droned in
aware? He's going
fully.
to catch off Kaiko on the sprint. I've been talking about this yesterday. Sprinting around the map like that doesn't work because Corza just has a way of timing it perfectly.
Now even more drones to drone him out. Corza, it's the first time in a while that he's been on an entry fragging position. For most of the Vibin days, he was kind of in a more support role, IGL specific role, but I feel like in this stack, knowing that he has other players that can just shine and also know when to make plays, know when to make calls, I think that's allowed him to come into his own, back to his fragging days of being that entry fragging player, and it is oh so good to see. But can he find even more? Almost shut down by Sandals.
It's not even about that ability to be an entry fragger, because reality is that Twitch F2 makes it anyone can be an entry fragger. You can put me on entry frag with that thing.
Oh, jumps down, finds the RKO out of nowhere, tries to whip out the Gon 6, the nade to follow. No kills just yet. Dr. Dropshot surely will die from the nade. Not even. Figure escaping with his life from a position he should not have. Dropshot is alive, and he's kicking.
I'm not quite sure what just happened there. The fact that Nivik and Dropshot survived that shouldn't have happened either way, but now it's down to a 4v1 as Corza gets another big kill though. Fish and Nivik does finally find Dropshot, but Figure finds Corza, but Kingzo just closes it up for his team, and this means the Passion Stack are now on match point, I believe.
So many refrags, refrag after refrag after refrag, and indeed you're correct. 6 and 4, match point.
A daunting task now for Nixuh. Trying to claw this back. They cannot afford a single mistake here. 2 rounds in a row that they have to win, and it's on sites which they haven't been able to secure a victory for themselves.
Have they
Daunting
not
indeed.
secured a victory up top?
They have not secured a victory on Bar and Cocktail.
Oh wow, okay. Interesting little stat.
This-
I did not pick up on that.
I don't believe they have actually on the defensive half at least. I mean,
yeah.
but okay, I was gonna say Dropshot switching to Doc, but he's gone for the smoke here. Maybe opting, the team looks like it's be opting to rather play it a bit safer now, not taking any unnecessary risks and sit back. Dropshot on the smoke. This is a guy who we know if you give him that SMG-11, he will turn it into a laser beam.
Strangely, Sandals, the player that is showing up. I say strangely because I'd expect other players to show up before them. Kaiko, Dropshot, maybe even Figure or Fish. Sandals, we know he is a very much capable player, but to me at least, he's kind of taken second seat to the likes of Dropshot or Kaiko.
It's been a I get what you're saying. It's been a long time since we've seen the Sandals, who was the guy leading the charge into every game.
Yeah. But
It's been
this is refreshing.
It's refreshing. The last time I think we saw Sandals being extremely dominant throughout matches was back in the early Titan days when I believe he got an ace, two aces in the same game against ATK. Then after that, we haven't really seen him be that same dominant force. But this time, he's the one leading the charge for his team here. But unfortunately, the team isn't following up to help him.
And now he's in an important situation, but he doesn't win it out. He had drones giving away his location and 3 players tracking him down, finally finding him. But there's another player on the roam. I believe it's Fish down below at bottom white. Maybe to help, had he wanted to help him out, but a bit too late now. The Passion Stack, I've said quite a few times, when they find the opening kill, about 60 to 70% of the time, they find the round. In match point
Correct,
now,
yeah.
That's not a good omen for Nexa.
Not a good omen for Nexa. Kaiko getting drowned out in a very aggressive position here. He's not going to have a lot of options to where he can run, but he does manage to get across with his life. But now he is somewhat pinned here. He does have drop shots for support. Dropshot, an extremely good Pixel player. We've seen him hit nutty shots here from Pixel.
How is Kaiko alive?
Not quite sure how he was allowed to escape there, but he does. And he's wasted quite a bit of time on doing that. But there's actually someone on the window there, meaning that Kaiko can't play in an optimal position here in Pixel. And he does choose to fall back again, escaping with his life.
Now then, they've got one player on the white window repel, as well pressure coming from the top of red stairs. Corza Putting a bit of pressure onto the Pixel player. The Jaeger is there to answer back if they indeed push on out. Spots the gun, but he can't find the player. They are falling one after another. It's left to Fish and Figure, the double F combo, to solidify their W. Can he spray on through the Nomad to win the kill? And Le Passion Stack end the final of the SSA R6 League seeding tournament with a flawless round. That is what you love to see. GG's all around as Le Passion Stack take it all.
That was not what I was expecting at the end of this. I was expecting it to be a lot closer than the last 2 rounds, but at the same time, well done to the Passion Stack. A team that was formed, 2 weeks before this whole tournament started? And in that time, they've come in and they've been absolutely great.
So, any final words before we head this off? I mean, that was an incredible game. I have a lot of words to say.
I have many, many words to say, but I think we'll have to wait for another time because otherwise we'll be sitting here for 2 hours just looking into every small little play that got made.
Well then, thank you guys so much for joining. This truly has been an incredible way to start the SSA R6 League, and I truly, from the bottom of my heart, want to say a big thank you. I initiated this league with Mr. Harper, the coach of Nixuh. He would have been casting this with me had he not been, well, the coach of Nixuh. That would have been a bit weird. But we started this whole thing to support the SSA R6 community, not because we want a return on investment, not because we want to boost our egos in any way. We do this because we love the Siege community, and the Siege community has shown us love. So thank you. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you guys.